embarrassment that comes with it. What? Opposite for him.
Is it one of my faves?
No.
Who's your fave?
I think Esther's cousin.
No, he's straight.
Who's Esther's cousin?
Left on.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Anyway, good morning, people. It is Monday the 29th of April. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you, the culture, of course. And as always, we're brought to you by the best in the business. Everyone introduce themselves.
It's your girl, Just Jude. Sorry. Representing the Black fitness queens in the Rascal scene. How you mean?
All right.
What, no fanfare today? Thanks.
They call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news and analyst, melanin jam-packed.
And I am your boy, 6 foot plus of pure temptation, big Marsh from the east side of the bridge. Good morning, people. How's everyone doing?
Good, thank you.
All right. Can't complain, man. Can't complain.
You all right over there, Brent?
I think so.
What do you
Why
mean
do
you
you
think
think?
so?
I don't know why the tweet didn't go out.
Or technical difficulties?
Yeah.
I can complain, but I'm not going to.
You might as well.
Why'd you complain?
Since you were up.
No, I'm not going to. You know what I said to myself this morning, yeah? I said, G, choose to have a good week this week.
Yeah.
I literally was like, it's long, but just trying it. So I'm trying to remain a bit positive.
So you said you want to run away, though?
I didn't say that.
You did?
I didn't say I want to run away.
You did say
I
you
did
wanna-
not. What, because I said I'm thinking about relocating?
Well, you've got the fitness for it to run away.
So funny. I actually don't, I'm not a runner,
Serious?
You couldn't pay me to run.
Yeah, but you can walk away.
Yeah.
No, definitely, 100%.
Walk
But-
to Jericho.
Yeah, but running's not for me though. No. Like I don't actually think I don't think God created my body to run. I don't think I'm at this stage in my life. Thinking about doing the marathon, yeah, I think I'd end up in hospital.
Is it the bunda or the knees?
Do you know what? So I have a lot of imbalances, right?
Okay.
So my right glute is bigger than my left glute. And then my left quad is bigger than my right quad.
You're just full of surprises.
Literally. And my hips are not, it's because I have a hip shift.
Okay.
So because my hip is shifted, when I do like leg days and stuff, yeah, I have better range of motion on my right. So that takes obviously most of the pressure, so gets most of the work. So my left is like lagging behind. And
I always
then
thought like your left glute was bigger.
no, it's not actually. It's the right. Cheeky. But you are so dumb. But no, I've got hella imbalances. It's so funny. Like I went for a walk with my friend the other day, and he was like, "What's going on with your?" I said, "What do you mean?" He was like, "No, like you walk longer on your left side than on your right." I said, "How do you notice?" He was like, "Because I can."
Maybe
Yeah.
go to a chiropractor and get realigned.
I don't think it's that though.
They could do that. Have you done it before?
Yeah, I have, but I'm saying I don't think that will fix the problem because my hips are tight. Like, I noticed it anyway. So I need to go and see. I need to have a full body MOT to like figure out what it is. But I just know that based on all those imbalances, me trying to do a London marathon will end me in hospital.
If you didn't train for it, bro.
No, but I don't think I can even train for it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, because I'm, do you know what I mean? I'll end up hurting myself, basically.
I'm not a long distance runner either, man. I'm a
Like,
sprinter.
honestly, I don't even think I'm a sprinter. Because I remember do you know why I say this? Because last year I gave myself, was it last year? No, it was the year before. I gave myself 3 months. I was consistent and I attempted to get better at running for 3 months. And I didn't get better. And to me, 3 months is a long time. I'm so sorry to be trying to do something and not get better at it. And my average heart rate, guess what my average heart rate was every time I went for a run? Average, by the way.
160.
No,
170.
no. I know.
190.
That was like 185. To me, if that's the average, I'm damn near cardiac arrest. Like, how can my average heart rate be that high? And it was like that for the duration of the run. I was always fighting for my life, always. And I was just like, no. Nah. So running's not a bit of me. I can do everything else. You know what I mean? But long distance running.
But it might be. It's probably, I guess, some of the things you mentioned, but it's also probably body structure though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think. But it's interesting though, because I started off as a runner.
But you didn't look how you look today.
No, but exactly that's what I'm saying. This was over 10 years ago. So I don't think the way I'm built now I can't, man. If only I was fast. Then sprinting, because I actually enjoy sprinting. There's just no speed. So it's dumb. I remember when I was doing it, I sprinted one day outside and I filmed it. The way people were crying, they were like, oh my days, your arms are moving faster than your legs. Like, you look like you should be going fast, but you're really not. And I said, yeah, it's just not for me. So, and you know what? Sometimes in life, like, you can't be good at everything, even though I would love to be. And I feel like with fitness, you want to be an all-rounder, and running's like the bare minimum. It's like the basic. Do you know what I mean? So you want to be able to run, which is why I thought, nah, man, let me try it. But I tried for 3 months and it's just not for me. So it is what it is.
Do you feel like maybe, I don't know, 5 years time, you may change your goals in such a way that you look different?
Probably.
Okay.
I feel like, to be fair, when I first started training back in the day, I just wanted to be skinny, innit? Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to be slim. So I weren't weight training. It was just cardio. And then times changed. And then I was like, no, I want to be a thick bitch. So I lifted weights. And I might just get to a point where it's like, and to be fair, one of the main motivations behind me exercising is mental health anyway. So it's always about how it makes me feel. I'm clear in my mind. So it may just get to a point where I don't even have an aesthetic, like, a goal. I just go to the gym just because. I've started doing Pilates though.
What was that?
Yeah, which is freaking hard. But now I understand why people scream, "Oh, if you want abs, do Pilates." I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, wait me, give me 3 months, I'll have abs. I believe it. No, because it's really hard. Like, when I'm there, I'm shaking I'm shaking. My core is screaming. So I understand. Like, when you can feel the muscles working and you're just like, wow, okay. So yeah.
What's Pilates? Just stretching and things?
No, so it's not just stretching, but it's like stretching with resistance, if you get what I mean. So you use like machines like that, you can change the level of resistance on it. I feel like it works smaller muscle groups in your body, if you get what I mean. So it's like, when you train, you've got like the big muscle groups and then you've got the aesthetic ones. So like, obviously you've got your glutes in it. So your glutes, your maximus is the biggest muscle in your bum, but then you've got the medius. You're probably thinking, what am I talking about? But basically, you see in your bum, you've got like the muscle at the top that gives you the bookshelf. And then you've got the one at the bottom. Yeah, right. So in your head, you're gonna do like what's this thing called? Hip thrusts, which will work the whole bum. But then if you want the bookshelf batty, you're gonna do like kickbacks, because that's gonna work the top muscle. So they're like the aesthetic muscles. You get what I mean? So I feel like with Pilates, it works the really smaller muscles, like to give you detail. If you get what I mean, not on your bum, but just on your body in general, because you end up feeling pain in parts that you didn't know existed. You're like, hold on a minute. But it's really good though. Good for flexibility, for core strength, posture. It's intense and it's low impact. So it's interesting that it's intense. Like, I'm always like, you're not really making me do much here, but it burns hell, and my body is like, and I went last week and I ached. When I got in the car, I had to sit down for like 10 minutes because my legs were I just thought, wow. And because I go gym, I believe that I'm a gym babe and like I can conquer anything, and like, you know what I mean? But not in that space. I'm a mere mortal.
How was your weekend, Max?
Eventful, man. Eventful. We done pen game yesterday. That was fun. Pick up everyone that pulled up. It was lit still. Good turnout. Don't want to give too much away, so you can see. But yeah, there was definitely lots. There was definitely lots going on. You get me? So
When is the footage and all that come out?
First battle should be next week, maybe, or maybe by the weekend. I'm not sure. Either by the weekend or next week, we'll put them out. But actually, they've kind of messed up the schedule because all the battles didn't get completed. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of, it was eventful. You get me? That's all I'll say. Watch this space. You have to take it in. But pick up everyone that came. I see Starcrow in there yesterday.
Big up Starcrow.
So yeah, it was fun. There's a lot of bunda in the building.
Love that for you.
Not for me. I'm working. I'm professional.
Bet you are.
No, it's nothing to do with me. I just want the ambience and the aesthetics to be right for everybody else. You feel me? I'm a professional, babes. You get me?
I wouldn't know.
Huh?
So I wouldn't know.
No, because you've been fucking around.
Yeah, and I don't want to find out. Thank you. I do not want to find out.
You gonna say good mornings, Brent?
Yeah. But is it all gonna make the cut?
I need to find a way to put it out so it doesn't. So it looks right.
Are we
So it's
gonna
at least
talk about?
entertaining.
There's beef on Deja. It's going off on the roof. We'll talk about that. Because what would you do in that situation? You're definitely someone's catching hands. Come on.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, that's why I'm not. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Basically, we was doing pen game yesterday, and one of the battles got a bit excited, and there was a little kerfuffle on the stage. You get me? The artist doing too much interactions, but there was a lot of that stuff going on because I think they're just trying to find ways to be as disrespectful as possible. So they're throwing things at each other.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, people was getting chewing gum thrown in their face.
Oh, that's
not like
rude.
chewed up though, like
Okay.
thing one and that. And,
Throwing chewing gum in my face to me is
And-
like spitting on me.
and coins at each other, and like keep the change kind of thing, and dashing coins on man. And
You know what?
they was just trying to. I think they're just trying to find ways to you get me, to push the levels, and they just need to find a way to just keep a lid on things so it don't get too crazy. You get me? Because it definitely at one point got a little bit excited on the stage and that. But the man will be reprimanded anyway.
He's so reprimanded.
Yeah, no, I'm a disciplinarian. I ain't taking that shit. So everyone will get dealt with accordingly, and we move. But nothing happened. It was still a good night. Everyone in the building was definitely thoroughly entertained.
What was the prize? What's the prize?
What, the winner? $5,000.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice little payday for them there. Get me, for their works. But
That wasn't the final, was it?
No. That was just the last group stage. We're going into the quarterfinals and then the finals.
Is it every week?
No, I've done it once a month. But we're taking a break from May, and then the quarterfinals will be in June now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done once a month. I've done one a month since January.
Sick.
So we'll have a little break. So
Thanks.
yeah, so we'll have a little break and then go again in June. So everyone, make sure you get your tickets. The quarterfinal tickets are on sale right now. It's definitely going to be fun, man. It's definitely going to be fun because by now all the nonsense has been whittled down. You get me? Everybody left in the competition is dope.
Quality.
Yeah, it's quality. Yeah, so I ain't announced the matchups yet, but it's going to be fun, man.
Sick. How do you do that? The matchups for the quarterfinals? Is it like a draw thing, or you seeing who you think will basically have the best battle?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see everybody that's got through, and I'll see I'll see what makes the most sense. But like I said, all the last 8, everybody's good in it, so all of them will be every single battle will be one worth watching. You get me? Make sure it's fire. So yeah, man. Onwards and upwards, man. Pick up pen game.
That 100%.
All right, so we have a little update from the dilemma sent in on Friday.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We were doing it. Well, I was doing her speculation. Here is the update.
Oh, you don't want me to read it out later? Sis, what would you do? Well, I mean, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Monday.
Do your thing.
Yeah, there's nothing else going on All right. Hi. Thanks for the advice, guys. Also to add, when I meant big-bodied, I meant hench and tall, ideally.
Told you.
Gina said it first, though.
No.
Yeah.
You were
Gina
talking
said.
about like a Rick Ross kind of.
No, I was.
That was
doing
after you corrected me because I was
Yeah.
saying hench and you were saying you don't. I don't think that's what you mean when he says it. Anyway,
I think
sorry.
both of you, mother and father. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Please, we're single.
Separated.
Sorry.
Also to add, when I meant
Think about the
big-bodied,
kids.
Fuck them kids.
I meant hench and tall, ideally 6'1" and above. I'm 5'7", and these UK guys are usually short and petite. Also, I am not big-bodied. I go to the gym. I have a nice and healthy body. These conclusions in the comments are wild. It was probably aided by my dialogue.
You lot were trying to basically say that sis was punching. That's what you lot were getting at.
Oh, I was there.
Always trying to bring a black woman down.
It weren't just punching. Obviously, they made the assessment that she wanted someone like Rick Ross.
Because she's big and she wanted someone bigger than her.
Yeah, these are the maths they done.
When I meant a fully Yoruba man, I meant someone who is from the culture and has a heavy interest in the culture too. The guy I'm seeing now, he is Yoruba, but he's a second generation. And I feel like I'm low-key speaking to a white guy when I speak about certain Nigerian things.
Okay.
I have decided to take him in fully. He's a great guy, and I should be happy to have someone like him in my life.
Yes, girl.
So again, thanks for the advice, guys. Much appreciated.
Oh, well done, man.
Yeah.
It's a very mature
Yeah, man.
way to look at it. That's good. Well done, girl.
Thanks for clearing a few things up.
I hear it. And all of you lot that were trying to shame her for having a type, saying that she's punching and she shouldn't have a type. Look at you. She told you she's got a healthy body.
And I guess she can kind of teach him, like with regards to the whole Yoruba thing and him being second generation and kind of reasoning like a white man sometimes. She can kind of teach him somewhat.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's if he's interested, though. Because to be fair, if do you get what I mean? The thing is, I totally understand what she means by that, though,
Yeah, exactly.
because I couldn't be with someone who doesn't have any interest in the continent at all.
Yeah.
Look how often I go back there. Do you know what I mean? So like, I definitely need someone who's open to that or has some sort of interest. Like, you don't have to be on it as much as me, but for you to turn your nose up at it or have no interest whatsoever or not have any, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's funny. I always saw you with a Caribbean man.
No, you did not. Where? Where? I've never dated a Caribbean person.
Is it?
Nah.
Makes sense.
Have you dated African?
Of course.
Okay, fair enough.
I meet more African women than Caribbean women.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, he has a penchant for Ghanaians.
Is that?
Hear it. I mean, we are great people, so I don't blame you.
I don't know what that is still. I don't meet a lot of Caribbean women.
You don't?
No, the majority of the black women I meet are African, Nigerian, Ghanaian.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know
East
why
African and that.
I'm in? Where are most of your friends from? Like country-wise?
Mix.
Okay.
They're not mostly Caribbean. I've got better African friends.
Okay, so I was gonna say maybe that's why.
No,
No?
because it's not like. Nah.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. I don't even know the reasoning behind it. To be totally honest with you, it don't make sense. If I meet a Jamaican girl, I'm usually like shocked. Not shocked, but it's like it's rare. You get me? It's like got a Jamaican thing.
Do you know what? I'm trying to think. Yeah. I don't actually even know that many Caribbeans. If I think about it, like my network, if you get what I mean. And when I think about most of the places that I frequent, they are predominantly African spaces. But I'm linking that heavily to music. Does that make sense?
There's my friends. I don't.
So because most of the places I go, do you know where I meet Caribbeans? House events.
I can say Caribbean shop. Oh.
No. You're actually silly. No, if I go to like a house event, like an original till 2, you know what I mean? Them kind of events, yeah. I meet Caribbean men.
That must be why I don't meet Caribbean guys. I don't go to them places.
And I don't go to them often. But when I do, most of the guys there are Caribbean. Whereas if I go to like the spaces that I usually go to, they're, because most of the music there is Afrobeats, I meet mainly African men. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But again, I'm linking it to music a lot.
African girls for the win, man. Shouts out my Ghanaian babes.
Double entendre.
What? Double entendre? Jeez, man.
You're so bad. You.
Friends, so a man said double entendre, you know.
Oh my gosh!
All right, it's not that funny.
Oh my goodness, this boy. Every single day, there's another development. Oh,
What do you mean another development?
don't worry.
No, I want to
Like,
worry.
I just find more and more about him. Like, his brain, boy, it should be studied. It should be studied. Oh, anyway, let me say good morning to everybody in the chat. Good morning, everybody in the chat. It's too many names.
You're so childish.
It's too many names. Let's get over the headlines, please.
Hear it.
Yeah.
All right, so our first headline. Humza Yousaf is in trouble, man. He's considering quitting as Scotland's First Minister rather than face 2 confidence votes. So a source close to Mr. Yousaf said that the resignation was now an option, but a final decision has not yet been taken. Mr. Yousaf has faced a fight for survival as First Minister after abruptly ending the SNP's power sharing deal with the Scottish Greens last Thursday, which we obviously spoke about last week. He's understood to have ruled out a deal with Alex Salmond's Alba Party, and his prospect of surviving a vote of no confidence in his leadership is now dependent on the Scottish Greens. He needs the support of at least one member of the opposition at Holyrood to survive the vote, which could take place as early as Wednesday. Jettisoning the deal with the Greens, known as the Boot House Agreement, provoked a furious reaction from his former partners in government. He now faces 2 motions of no confidence this week, one tabled by the Scottish Conservatives in his own leadership as First Minister and another from Scottish Labour, which would force his entire government to resign. The Greens are due to meet later on Monday, but have repeatedly ruled out supporting him in the personal vote. The Scottish Conservatives, Labour and the Lib Dems have already said that they will vote against him. If nothing changes, that leaves the First Minister facing the choice of defeating a confidence vote or resignation in advance. Next headline, Rishi Sunak has said that migrants travelling to Ireland after arriving in the UK in small boats is a sign that the Rwanda scheme is already working as a deterrent. Ireland's Deputy Prime Minister Michael Martin also said that the threat of being deported to Rwanda had caused an influx of migrants to cross the border from Northern Ireland into the Republic. Rishi Sunak stated that people are worried about coming here, and that demonstrates exactly what I'm saying. If people come to our country illegally but know that they won't be able to stay there, they are much less likely to come, and that's why the Rwanda scheme is so important. However, the Irish Prime Minister Simon Harris has asked Ireland's Justice Minister to bring legislation to Cabinet to enable asylum seekers to be sent back to the UK. And our last headline, King Charles is set to return to public duties this week after his treatment for an undisclosed form of cancer had a positive effect. The 75-year-old monarch had been receiving outpatient care and has only been seen on a handful of occasions since announcing his condition back in February, when he stepped back from engagements involving the public. Despite the news, sources said that the king still has cancer and would continue to undergo treatment while managing his summer schedule. And that's it for our headlines, guys.
All right, then let's get into what you're saying, topic of the day.
All right, so this topic of the day is an interesting one, and this was sent in by somebody who just labels themselves as TDA fan. So big up TDA fan. Brent, if you don't mind, can you click the video, please, so that everyone can get some context But once we basically see this video, this is by Jesse Williams. You don't know Jesse Williams, innit?
I'm gonna say no, but the name sounds familiar. So when I see the face, I'll probably know. Who
You
you're
would
talking
definitely know him. He's a light-skinned mixed race actor.
about. With the light eyes.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't think like a man.
Was he in that?
No, that's Michael Ealy.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Is it activist man?
Yes. Yeah. That guy.
He's pro-black and they cuss him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So he basically had an interview. I believe he was on what's his name, Sway's radio show. Yeah, and basically he had
just because I listened to
these
the
views.
Beatles and Bob Dylan doesn't make me less black. Who do you think they're copying when they made that music? Who do you like? It's okay and more interesting to be have as many tools in your toolbox as possible. I just get a little disinterested in like the tragic mulatto story. Because like that's not the hard part. Yeah. And maybe I'm an asshole. But like it just doesn't. That doesn't.
Tragic mulatto.
Well, that's a real. There's 5 categories. Paul Bogle wrote a book called Toms, Coons, Mulattoes, Mammies, and Bucks. There's like the 5 or 6, whatever number that was, the names I just said, of roles that black people have played throughout the history of cinema. Right? You're either a Tom, a Coon, a Mammy, a mulatto, or a buck. And these are tropes that we've adapted. And yes, if you're I'm not a girl, but I've heard a lot, like, if you're a light-skinned girl, like, maybe the black girls don't fuck with you, or they think that you think you're better than... Right. Okay, but the world also thinks you're better than and treats you better. So, like, what's the math we're doing right now? Like, it's not a net loss. But you need to overcome. You need to figure out a way to be sensitive to that. I know that, like, I've got treated a certain way and get attention from girls because of the way I look, which I did not choose. I did not win a lottery shooting craps in the womb and like
let me get them eyes.
Let me get them eyes. Let me get these freckles. Let me get this color skin. Like, I didn't earn that. That's got nothing to do with me. But I know that I'm gonna have a better deal, so I can be more sensitive to that fact. I'm not gonna whine about how dark-skinned people treat me worse. Like, that's just a weird way to expend my energy. And who's that for?
Right.
Like, I'm more interested in black liberation than like light-skinned storytelling. I love it. That's my experience. Other people have had completely different experiences. I feel I'm aware that it's gonna come off kind of crass and insensitive, but I just want to. I don't like to dive down that. That's not a portal. I've got 5 other focuses. And like, light skin struggle ain't it.
That ain't
for
it.
me.
The tragic mulatto. And no, that ain't. That's honesty, man. That's all we ask.
And it's a lot of privilege because I had fucking incredible parents, and incredible like layered family that allowed me to be everything, but held me to a standard. Like, if I'm not working for the benefit of black people, my dad is not having it or impressed.
Wow.
Like, the collective body is always more important than the individual. I don't give a fuck about your individual accomplishments. What are you doing for black people?
Wow.
Like, it's always, and I didn't raise myself that way. Somebody raised me that way. That's a privilege. All this comes from being real lucky.
All right. So you basically got the gist of that, right? So let me just read what TDA fan said. Right. So in that video, it's a video of Jesse Williams, a light-skinned mixed race actor, talking about how he didn't care about telling his struggles and his stories as a light-skinned man in a society. Why? Because of his light-skinned privilege. As a light-skinned woman myself, with the majority of my friends being dark-skinned African ladies, I actively try to do the same thing and not talk about my struggles, because I know that my struggles aren't as extreme or severe as it is or can get for them, right? However, it did raise the topic for me. Exclusive problems. How privileged can you be to tell your story or struggles? In society, there's a narrative that everyone has a story that they can tell about their lives. However, does that story ever need to be pushed to the side or not told and acknowledged because of the greater good that can be resolved? For example, in the black community, would a dark-skinned person's gripe always be more important to discuss than a light-skinned person's? Will an African person's struggle be more important to resolve than a Caribbean person's struggle? Will a West African person's problems be more prioritized than an East African person's struggles? That's just to name a few. And ultimately, do you think this is a good thing or is it a bad thing?
Tough one.
Stuff for you. See, no one cares about the light skin struggle, man. No one. No, you know what? Let me
you know-
pick a
you know
side.
why?
Let me
No, go on.
let me pick a side. Number
Yeah.
one, we're just over here suffering in silence.
How are you suffering?
Huh?
What are you suffering? How are you suffering?
Colorism,
What colorism have you suffered?
enough colorism
Give me an example.
from my own community.
Give me an example.
Me not being black enough for you.
I'm about to leave this damn studio if you don't stop being annoying. I'm being serious. Let's talk about something serious.
Okay, go on. Let's try to talk about something serious. Now,
That's how you know you ain't had no damn struggles. He said, let's try and talk about something serious.
no, I've had struggles.
Like what?
You don't call me mixed race all the time.
Who's usually? I don't call you mixed race.
So that's what I'm trying to say. You are being disrespectful
Why?
because you're trying to say one of my parents is white. So, so you're disrespecting a black man and a black woman.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to face that, and then obviously, I don't really know because I don't really feel that way, but I see it all the time. Like, as a light-skinned person or a mixed race person, they're not really allowed to talk about their gripes or the things that they go through or their struggles. It's not seen the same minute because everyone's like, shut your yellow ass up. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, oh, what the hell are you moaning about? You know what I'm trying to say? With all that light-skinned privilege and whatnot. But everybody does go through, everybody has got their own struggles and their own stories to tell, innit?
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I agree. Everybody, like, I don't think it's fair to reduce a person's experience if that is their experience. Do you get what I mean? But I think the issue is if you're basing it on a scale, it's always going to seem not as important as what people, like the majority, have dealt with. Do you get what I mean? I think that's what the issue is. But it doesn't mean that your struggle is less important. But then at the same time, it's like, I guess it's more from a place of what does your struggle look like? Like, and how detrimental has your struggle been to, I guess, the wider scheme of things. Do you get what I mean? Because, yeah, do you know? Let me give you an example, of when I was in this situation, and I had a moment of shut your ass up. Yeah, I'm just being honest. So it was during like Black Lives Matter when brands were all coming on this. Let's get black women's opinions. So. Not gonna say the brand, but I had to host a conversation about being black in the fitness space. And obviously it's something that I've spoken about throughout my journey a lot, right? And I've given examples and I've spoken about situations that I've been in and like the fact that I'm not racially ambiguous and like just the stuff that I've been told and heard from like industry people, right? And so I hosted this conversation and there was two other women in the conversation with me and they were both mixed race, yeah? And when we were talking about our struggles, it made me laugh, yeah, because like my girl's struggle was, I straighten my hair because I don't want it to be curly because I don't want them to. And you know when I thought, in my head, yeah, I thought, this is the least of the issues like within being in the. Do you know what I mean? And it did piss me off because I thought, that's what you're crying about. Like, do you get what I mean? Like in the grand scheme of things, like at least you get booked for the job, sis.
Yeah.
I don't get booked for the job, so I don't have to, like, I don't even, do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's her experience, innit? Do you know what I mean? So who am I to reduce her experience? But in that moment, I literally thought, knock it the F off. Like, really? We're literally here talking about real, like proper issues. But that was her proper issues, you get what I mean? So I didn't voice it, but I definitely had that thought in my head.
I want to read what Von said. Yeah, so Von said, I've suffered a lot of colorism, right? Africans and Caribbeans call me mixed race. You're not really black. Or, but East African is different. What do you guys think about that, firstly?
What about East Africans being different?
And I guess people like who are dark skinned and maybe West Africans saying to Von, right, oh, you're not really black, or thinking he's not really black, or thinking he's mixed race, or basically saying, oh, okay, cool, yeah, you are black, but East African is a bit different, to be fair. You know what I mean?
It's just, I don't know. Obviously, it's just people of different skin tones being pit against each other, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Because obviously someone darker skin is just looking and thinking, you're not experiencing the same thing I am. You get what I'm trying to say? But it's not about playing Struggle Olympics and whose plight is worse off, because it works on the same. It works on both from both ways, isn't it? Like you're not experiencing the same thing they are either.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Do you know what I think it is as well? Yeah, I think it's also like, you know, when you want to make somebody feel bad, just because. So, for example, yeah, like in the African community, maybe not so much now, but we know that lighter skin has always been like glorified, right? Which is why skin bleaching is a thing and has been a thing. And so I feel like that can even also kind of come from a place of jealousy and envy, so to speak, yeah, because it's like, okay, cool, you're like you're like a superior black person, right? Because you have lighter skin. So to make you feel bad, like a way to make you feel bad is to not include you. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm trying? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because you can see that it's like what the person who wrote the question is saying is, if she's a light-skinned woman and all her friends are dark-skinned women, there will be times when she's gonna feel like, you know what? Let me not even say my gripe, because it's gonna be seen as trivial or whatever, because I've got my light-skin privilege and whatnot. But again, it's her lived experience, isn't it? Like you need to be able to sit. Like everybody's, I can't even explain it. Like it's just like when you're on different ends of the spectrum, it doesn't mean you still ain't got problems. Like you see that it's always people that's rich that say like, oh, money isn't everything and stuff like that, and rest of their tear. And people that's broken, ain't got it, can't really see it. You think if you get the money, it fixes all the problems in the world. Yeah. But people with money know like rich nigga problems are real. Yeah. Like you know what I'm trying to say? Like rich nigga problems are serious. Like having the money and having to spend it, whether it be your taxes and like when you got bills and you can't pay them, that's different, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Because nothing from nothing leaves nothing, and then you got to go around and scrape and do what you're doing. When you got the money and you got to pay these bills, it hurts even because the money's got to go. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you're paying it, you're shelling out, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so everybody's got their own problems, but a poor person don't want to hear a rich nigga talking about. You got to spend all this money, like kind of thing. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? They're not trying to hear it, but it's like our experiences are different, but it's still my experiences. It's still stressing me. It's still a problem. So it's the same, even with like mixed race people, because obviously, depending on what side of the family you was raised on or whatever, and seeing, I don't know, like what community you feel like you belong to, there's always going to be a part of you of that confusion and stuff in it. So they got their own problems that they go through, like, and this is real genuine problems with identity and stuff like that, whatnot. But again, if you say it in the wrong spaces, in like dark, it's like no one they're like, it's like you're saying, shut your yellow ass up, man. Like, what the hell are you moaning about? You get me? I don't know how you decide which is. They're all equally. Everybody's problems are equally important, isn't it? Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? I suppose it's probably about having a conversation but again, what happens when you have the conversation and the woman says like what you said about, oh yeah, I got to straighten my hair and stuff, and then no matter what, you've trivialized it, like, because obviously no matter what you're saying, fair enough, this ain't serious.
Do you know what it is? I think do you know what I think it is? Yeah, because I think it's as much as we're saying that we can't do struggle Olympics, some things just don't compare though. Like regardless of whether everyone's feelings are valid, your struggle's never gonna like equate to mine. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you'd rather your struggle than mine if we put things into perspective. Do you see what I mean? So as much as we're here saying, you know, you can't do struggle Olympics, if you was to put it in perspective with somebody else and be like, look at that video where there was the two white girls and they asked the girl like, oh, if you could be another race, what would you be? And she was like, I wouldn't be black. And they were like, why? She was like, because black people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's fact. Like on another day, I don't want your struggle. Like if I'm putting things into perspective, I don't want your struggle. I'd rather have mine.
You see this message?
See what I mean?
You see this message from Curtis? Yeah, is this proving the point? Because he's saying the definition of colorism is a skin shade prejudice in which people with dark skin experience disadvantages compared to those with lighter skin shades. In essence, Von's experience isn't colorism. So he's already just diminished Von's experience already. Like he said, that was
by definition.
No, but I don't think. I don't think he's.
That's literally saying, "Shut your yellow ass up."
No.
You don't know about colorism.
No, I don't think. No,
that's literally what he just said to him.
No. Do you know why I don't think it's that though? Because I feel like if the actual definition of colorism is what he's saying, he's not reducing his experience. He's just saying it's like when white people say. I think it's like when white people
the colorism
say
is from your own community. So you're thinking about the colorism that the white people are showing dark skin, and when
no, that's racism.
Well, whatever. Because the colorism, the preference for your shade and stuff like that is still colorism from outside of races. And a lot of the times when, say like what Von's speaking at, the majority of the colorism that he would feel would actually be from his own community. The majority of it will be from the black people.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, Brent, is the actual term and definition is what Curtis saying facts? Because if it is, I don't think he's reduced Von's experience.
I mean, I guess there is a question of whether it needs to be adapted or updated, sorry. Because it would have been defined in a period of time where this particular blight hadn't yet festered, spread, and started taking root. Because each time we talk about this, like it's always shut down when it is that light-skinned people basically say, "Hey, how about like what they're going through?" Do you understand? Yeah. Always. But what point are we gonna have that discussion where, let's actually start looking at this? Because remember, there's this argument where black people can't be racist. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't like it because then obviously when you start coming with the dictionary term and it's all foolishness. I think it's, like I said, I just think it's an excuse. It's an excuse for you to be a horrible person. So that's why I just don't like. I don't like it.
So I would question or challenge just going on Google or Wikipedia to say, all right, cool, what does this mean? And then run with that. I'd more so want to look at articles and discourse that has been updated to include what's an up-to-date data collection as opposed to what would have happened for you to define that particular term way back when. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's just me though. Or is there another word that has been coined for what they go through if people are saying, nope, you can't say that you suffer from colorism? Is there another word?
Or reverse colorism? It might be something like that, you know? Who knows?
Reverse colorism?
Yeah. So
let me see what reverse colorism means.
You know what I mean? But do you feel like maybe the change can only come when us within our own communities change the dynamic? So a lot of these gripes seem to be in relation to the rest of the world. So example, like Gina, you were mentioning about this other girl complaining about, you know, how she has to straighten her hair or she doesn't straighten her hair or whatever it may be. But at least she's getting booked. But getting booked by who? Is this by black companies or is this, you know what I mean, like companies in the more commercial mainstream space?
The mainstream
exactly.
space.
So if we get to a place where I guess we kind of have these industries in-house and we're not necessarily caring about how we're perceived outside, right, by people who don't necessarily have our features and may prefer particular features over the other. If all of this is in-house, wouldn't those issues kind of change? Isn't it kind of in our hands? Because why would somebody who is black and owns a black fitness company say, I only want a light-skinned girl to do this particular thing?
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
Reverse colorism refers to prejudice or discrimination against individuals with darker skin tones in favor of those with lighter skin tones. It can occur within the same racial or ethnic group. While less prevalent and historically significant than traditional colorism, it's a form of bias that can still have harmful consequences. Important to understand, colorism, a more common term, colorism is prejudice or discrimination based on skin tone. It generally favors lighter skin over darker skin and is deeply rooted in systems of oppression, including colonialism and slavery. So that's when the whites choose the lighter skins, blacks over the darker skin blacks. So what you go through, Gina, or have been going through is reverse colorism. Is that not correct, based on what I've just read?
Yeah.
If Gina's benefiting from it? Or not benefiting?
No, not benefiting.
From what Brent said, that sounded like reverse colorism.
So then what is colorism then?
Colorism is when it is the whites basically choose the lighter skinned over the darker skinned.
Okay. Interesting.
It says also, whilst reverse colorism can exist, it's crucial to recognize the historical and systemic power dynamics. This is what always comes up.
Exactly.
That make traditional colorism a far more pervasive and damaging issue. But that's outside of the community. In fact, it can also be inside because obviously the blacks would choose the lighter skin. But that's, again, some people will say it's down to conditioning and blah, 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 blah. But come on, there's an argument to be made here for Vaughan and Margs and the like.
Again, it's different arguments because it's different experiences, isn't it? And like you've never had to prove your blackness. You've never had to quantify it to anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? People look at you and they get it, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? That's your whole life. And that's your lived experience. Whereas light skinned people, or whether they're light skinned, mixed race, whatever it may be, their whole life is having to, or whether they've not even having to prove it or whatever, but it always comes into question, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? And then again, it's like it's like a civil war because it is usually from within. It is usually your own community, if that makes sense. Like white people, or any white people that think I'm mixed race, probably. Well, I don't even know what the word is. I don't want to say lack of knowledge or ignorance or whatever because obviously I'm light presenting, so black people think I'm mixed race sometimes as well. So I don't really. Yeah, I don't know, but like I was saying, like I feel like it feels like it's a fight that's more within your own community. You get what I'm trying to say? Like I get more black people telling me I'm not black than the people out of my race.
But isn't that something that is likely to happen? Because black people, I guess, you kind of know more things, and so you kind of, I guess, would be aware that okay, most black people maybe occur in this particular way, but you're also aware of mixed race people in your community. And so you'd be able to say, okay, cool, well, maybe your skin tone's more like this. So there's a possibility you are mixed race. But white people just kind of see people from a particular shade as all black. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not white. You know what I mean? Especially in this world where it's black and white. You know what I mean? So it's almost like saying your friend is more likely to argue and insult you. Yeah, because you see each other all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Is that we got a caller?
Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. All right, you might have to call back. I guess it's now activated.
Call back, please. I wanted to ask you, do you guys feel like, again, obviously I'm not sending shots at TDA fan or at all, but do you feel like maybe the questions are kind of loaded in that a lot of the time when we do look at gripe, and I'm not saying this is exactly what he or she is doing.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. One second, please. Yeah. When we look at gripes, yeah, sometimes we look at it in terms of beauty standards. Because, for example, with a question like, will a West African person's problem be more prioritized than an East African person's struggle? Like, in what way are you saying that the West African? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what has occurred that makes you say a West African struggle will be more prioritized than East African struggle?
Is it maybe because the West African seen as like proper Africa, like because obviously you got East Africans, you got North Africans, whatever. But when you think of like an African, you go to West African, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? It's even like what you're saying with the struggle between Caribbean and Africans, because obviously Caribbeans are like displaced at the end of the day anyway for majority of them or whatever. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So then when you think of the real black man, you go back, it's always the motherland, it's the roots, it's Africa, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So a West African, so coming from a West African, it might seem more weighted, if that makes sense. Whatever the gripe is, it's more weighted because this is a proper
I get you.
Black. You know what I'm trying to say?
Because as you were saying, I was kind of seeing it maybe as the reverse, because then you can kind of say that I guess an East African, how was it again? For example, East African, I guess, is maybe less presenting as African, like you're saying. So maybe their problems may be more easier, you know what I'm saying, than, I guess, the West Africans, if that makes sense. I think I've kind of switched it around.
I get what you mean, though.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll come back to that. Good morning, caller.
Morning, guys. Black Rob here. How you doing?
All good. How are you?
Morning.
Morning. Yeah, this discussion I always find it quite interesting because I think the biggest issue is that the Black experience is so intrinsically linked to struggle that we quantify people's Blackness by how much they struggle. And I think that's almost the same situation that we're having now, where we're discussing about like a dark-skinned person versus a mixed race person, whatever, and they experience the same kind of thing that I always see is the issue that's arising with this whole FBA versus Africans. You know, like in America where you have like your Tariq Nasheeds and all that stuff. They go, those Africans, especially in the Africans in America, because they see a lot of success because of lots of different things, especially Nigerians, because all of the as a microcosm of the Black people in America, they're actually doing quite successful. That's getting turned around on them and saying, hey, you're not struggling, so therefore your Black experience is capped. So you have like less voting rights in these discussions, the same way that we do to mixed race people when we have discussions about colorism. So there's almost like a scorecard of, okay, you struggled X, Y, and Z much, so therefore your voice has more credence in any discussions that we have. It even goes into like rap music. They'll go, "Oh, J. Cole, he's better. He came from Fayetteville, so that's a poor area. So that's a tick for him. Oh, but he went to college, so he must be a little bit of a nick. So that's a down tick for him." So they almost like have a mental scorecard of how much struggle you have, and that dictates how much credence your voice has. And it goes across all of the stuff that we do, and that's why we even call it the Black struggle. People from so many different cultures, different languages, different places are all supposed to be linked just by melody. And the only thing that seems to be tying us is to how bad your life is. And if your life ain't bad, then you're not part of the club. I think that's the biggest issue when we have these discussions.
That's a good point there, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So how do you feel like these sort of things can be rectified, though? Because do you feel like it's always going to be a thing where someone's feeling like, well, you are not listening to me and this, that, and third? Because you can see it right now in the chat.
Yeah, we can acknowledge like two things to rewrite. So the same way like Von was talking about his experience, you should acknowledge someone's experience without diminishing it. Be like, we understand your struggle. We're talking about this one right now, but we acknowledge, like, there's a way of affirming someone that you understand what they're going through, but still like say, hey, let's park that and let's sort this out right now. But we get what you're saying and what you're saying is valid. Not shut up, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a way of dismissing it that makes that person feel, okay, I can't talk here. Let me just keep quiet. And then you kind of lose. Some people are like Jesse, who are quite self-aware or even like emotionally mature enough to go, okay, cool, like, I get why they're saying that. Let me still do my part. And some people will be like, yeah, fuck you guys then. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you lose people that way. So you have to still acknowledge, but still it's a prioritization thing. If there's like if there's a war going on in your country and then there's like, I don't know, then there's something else like, oh, but you're talking about, I don't know, like free school meals. You prioritize, you go, okay, let's talk about the war first and we'll do the free school meals later. Free school meals are important, but the war's is pressing. So that's like, you have to prioritize. So I think it's just the way we talk about it without being dismissive and flippant about other people's experiences. That's how you lose people that could have been on your side.
Yeah, true indeed.
All right then.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Black Rob.
Is it see, because you're saying that you don't want to do struggle Olympics, but is it like you're saying you have to be honest and accept whatever's going on? Is it also that you need to be honest and accept that there is just levels to?
No, there are levels. Yeah,
I think so. That's what I was saying. Now,
there are levels. Yeah, there are levels.
Regardless of whether like we can all sit here and say everyone's points are valid, but there are levels.
Is that fair though? Let me give an example.
No, can I say, I hear you, but even before you say that, life isn't fair. I'm not even going to lie.
No, right.
Regardless of what you come and tell me, my response is always going to be life isn't fair, because it's really not.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it kind of is what it is.
The reason why I say this is because let's just say I, for example, I don't know, became a millionaire. I had a bunch of light-skinned babies. I don't know why, but all my babies is light-skinned. Yeah. And I moved to an area where there's no blacks inside. Mm-hmm. And my kids go to schools and in the community amongst white people. Mm-hmm. They have legit struggles now. Right? Struggles that one could say perhaps could be like mine as a dark-skinned man, but it's relative. Real struggles that they've experienced and have to deal with in life. They move to London, see people like me and Gina, and all of a sudden they're told to keep quiet. You know what I'm saying? Is that really fair?
Yeah.
It's not, but like I said, life ain't fair, baby.
No, but okay. I don't want to be harsh, but at some point, could one say, "Wait a minute," but that's ridiculous. Let's be fair. You know what I'm saying?
It's the way you communicate it. Even the word's ridiculous. You acknowledge, but but don't diminish. even the word ridiculous. You may think it is, but like there's a way. I'm agreeing with you for the most part on what you're saying. It's how you communicate it will dictate how that person takes it.
Yeah,
and that's the most important part. You can like.
I wish Esther was here to hear you say this.
I know she's militant, isn't it? Like she'll I know what she'll say, but like there's a difference why I can debate about anything without getting emotional. And, anyway.
Hey, Black Rob.
What is the shade? What the shade?
Everywhere,
It's growth. No, what did you
And then you come and throwing shade. And also the thing is, you're not even throwing shade when the person's here to defend themselves. So technically,
I do what she said. But okay, that's true. I
You know
allow
what's
it.
funny?
Allow it.
Actually, watching the division in the chat play out in real time.
crazy.
Because it's just
Let's see, what
proving.
is it?
It's just proving everything
What we're
that,
talking
that
about.
what we're talking about. Like we come together every morning as a community. We don't agree on everything, but like we come together, we harmonize. But then and then you throw this into the mix, and it's just whoosh, just forget.
But why is what
previous relationships? Forget everything. Just like,
why is what I'm
shut
saying
your yellow ass
controversial?
up.
I'm saying so. But why is what I'm saying controversial? I'm saying what your experience is valid, but and I acknowledge it, but it's not important what we're talking about right now. There two things that I'm basically agreeing with both sides, but I'm just communicating in a way that doesn't make them feel a kind of way. And so you want to keep them on side. Sometimes some people are so militaristic that they forget that to be when you're when you're whatever, like when you're like E-man, when you're on this like power stuff, you still need to be a good orator, a good a leader of man, all that stuff. Like all the top leaders, they had a bit of finesse, a bit of charisma, a bit of like emotional intelligence. You don't go scorched earth just because you got a good heart and you're fighting the good fight doesn't mean that you need to lack finesse and tact in the way you communicate.
Yeah.
All our best leaders, all Malcolm X, all them man, they all had finesse. They all knew how to sway people with the way they speak. So don't go, hey, I'm fighting a good fight, so therefore it doesn't matter the way I communicate it because I'm doing the right thing. That's a quick road to being in. You're just gonna be Twitter fingers. You're gonna be on socials just talking nonsense, but no one's listening to you because you don't know how to carry people along with you. So
I hear you.
yeah, the most effective. Yeah. Anyway,
I guess the last thing I'll say to you, Black Rob, is I hear what you're saying about in terms of acknowledging it and basically saying, look, we'll get to that. But I'm assuming here anyway, for light-skinned people, I'm assuming we never get to it though. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, okay, we'll talk about that afterwards, but we never get there. You know what I'm saying? So what's next?
Again, I just think it's just a different argument in it because obviously the history of black people and the way that they're treated from other races, and obviously so it's like us against the world thing in it because your problems are always outwardly in it. You know what I'm trying to say? And then when you get to different skin tones and stuff, and then you get different, there's the colorism or whatever the word is within your own community, innit? You know
it's internal a lot of times.
It's internal. So then you have to internalize that and you feel with that differently. You get me? Because as far as you're concerned, you're still part of this black pride. It's us against the world. But then now I've got, and even though it's different because of the colorism and because man's light skin might get man treated differently, but there's still that me against other races. But then also it's where my home and my tribe, I don't have the same support as you because I'm not seen as the same. If we lined up now, like there's people that will not, they don't see me the same as you and Brent from our own community as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm trying to say? That black people will look at us and say that we're not the same. And but then I've got to look at you and know that I'm the same as you.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like because I am the same as you. I've just got light skin.
Yeah.
But I'm as far as I'm concerned, I'm the same. But if we just stood up and we didn't speak, people say that man's different, but that's not through my choice. That's not. That's got nothing to do with me. I ain't got no control over that situation. You know what I'm trying to say? So then, however I internalize that and however I feel might be a problem or a struggle for me. So then to turn around and tell me that it's not nothing, and I should shut my yellow ass up. Where do you go from there, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. The answers I had were one more short-term solution. Long-term solution, you're right. Like if you say we'll park it later and later never comes and they'll feel hard done by, I ain't really got an answer for you on that one. Because if it is lower down on the totem pole, if we're talking about equality and racism and all this stuff, and then, as you said, someone's talking about straightening their hair, we may never come to that because unless some other things get resolved first because it's lower down on the pole. So, yeah, I ain't really got an answer for you for that. But all I'm talking about is the way we communicate our gripes internally needs to change, and then more people will get carried along. I ain't got much more outside of that. But even if we just did that, there'll be way more people that would be for the. You know, some people like, let's say, mixed race people that are maybe not as woke as Jesse. They may have one bad experience and just be like, yeah, fuck them. Do you know what I mean?
I retweet Christy. Christy said this is the white man's fault, and we perpetuated it. Willie Lynch.
Exactly. I'm with you on that. All right, cool.
All right,
Thank you, man.
All right.
Oh man, it's crazy.
This is kind of what I have in my head each time I would buck a light-skinned man or a light-skinned woman, right? My first move or action wouldn't be to just assume that you are polluted with the white man's mental, right?
Okay.
But when you start talking like the white man, that's when it is I start saying, all right, cool, you're doing this, that, and next, right? So I don't know if in the chat, when mixed race or light-skinned people start to pipe up, the other person isn't sure yet. How do you see
Yourself.
Yeah. Do you understand? They're not sure yet. Are you an enemy?
Oh, yeah, ally.
Are you an ally? Do you understand? But it's not clear in the person just saying, hey, what about me? Do you understand? Whilst they're saying, I am suffering, the other person is taking it as, oh, you don't care about my suffering. Do you understand? That's why I think dialogue is so important.
Thanks.
It's so before looking to charge, even if that particular light-skinned person or mixed race person does the first move, I beg you, find out first. Hey, let me hear. It could just be that you want people to realize that you are hurting, and you have been, but it's not for me to say that it's bigger than your issue or you haven't been hurting.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. The two things are separate.
It did. Yeah. So I always approach it with love and understanding before I make my judgment.
Yeah.
And then say, you've been got by such and such. And if it is, once you've identified that, 100% put them in that category and keep on their neck and start doing that whole, no, there's no such thing as da-da-da-da-da. You understand?
Yeah.
But that's how I approach it anyway.
Is it a case then of, like Gina said, was just life isn't fair? Because do you need to do that same level of processing if the person's dark skin?
How do you mean?
So in the same way you, like you said, when you meet a light skinned person, you're like, okay, cool. Neutral ground here. Let me see what this person's saying. Then I'll make my assessment. If the person's dark skinned, black as midnight, right? Are you doing that same assessment? Or are you automatically thinking...
You won't do the assessment, you'll do it automatically, but you'll find out in real time once that black person starts talking like, because initially, that's what I say, you just racial prejudice and just, you'll walk in, see that and just assume, okay, that's a black man versus there. It's not until they open their mouth and they start talking and then you'll learn in real time, you're like, oh, shit.
You'll find out though. Even before they open their mouth, I'm sorry, I always say this, I can always tell by how a person dresses, how their hair is. It sounds really, really superficial, but yeah.
But what about someone that's raised, say, like out of London in the Think area, and they dress and their hair, so they're not got a close enough attachment to the culture for it to be suitable for you, but they are who they are. Pro-black,
there's a few anomalies. I agree. There are a few anomalies. I agree. But listen, soft life hard wig is a real thing. You look don't have a clue what I'm talking about, but the girls know it's a real thing. Thank you so much.
Soft life hard wig is crazy.
Do you know what that is?
I can imagine.
Thank you very much.
Nana?
She's definitely soft life. 100%.
Okay.
110%.
All right then.
Yep.
And that's why I'm so I'm extra hard on that type of black. When I would give them the benefit, and then I find out that they are an enemy. Oh, sorry, because you're inside. You're inside the camp. Good morning, Dr. Amani.
Hi, how's it going?
Everything. Oh, he seemed frustrated.
No, you know what it is? I'm going to be quick because I've got patients in a bit, so I need to be quick. What I was going to say, obviously, I think a lot of this stuff is nuanced, right? And that's why sometimes the definitions, they try and make it all fit into like one category or something, but it can't. Like, life is very nuanced. I'm a lighter skinned black woman, yeah? And I'm more like Jessie in that sometimes my struggles and my plight, like they're not that relevant in the time. So like I'll give you an example. I remember one time I went to the club and I was with just like dark skinned women. And one guy come up to me and he was like, "Oh, I can tell that you're the classy one of the group." I said, "Hold up, how do you know that? How do you know that? Because I'm here in the club the same way they're here in the club, you're here in the club, we're shaking yash together. So why is it that I, out of everybody else, is the classy one? Don't ever try and use that against me. I mean, like, use that, my privilege, against another dark-skinned woman. Like, that's not going to run with me. That's not going to fly with me." But that's because I'm a bit more aware of these things, whereas some people potentially could be like, "Yeah, okay," and go with it. That's when I'm going to be like, I don't like that. And I think you need to really check where your privilege comes in sometimes, because at the end of the day, if I know that someone is trying to like prefer me because I'm a light-skinned woman, and especially use that against a dark-skinned woman, to me, that's not going to run. So in that time there, I'm definitely not going to talk about my struggles because a man likes me because I'm light-skinned, I'm going to be okay with that. As if it's oppressing another woman, that's not going to fly with me. But there's been other times when I've been in a conversation where, you know, someone's questioning my blackness, and it opens up a new discussion about like what like Black Rob was saying in terms of why is it that we have to think about struggle to think about what is black. Like then I can have a bit of a wider discussion, but there's going to be some times where I'm going to have to shut my mouth. Do you know what I mean? So it depends on the situation for me. I hate that we have to fight. I do. I hate it. The white man did this, and I hate it.
Can you think of a struggle or something that you would that you go through or you've experienced that you think that means something to you, but you feel like you can't voice it in like to like your darker skinned friends, or you wouldn't want to just voice it in, like say that now, basically?
Not really. Like it doesn't really bother me that much. So maybe I'm not the right person to like talk to about. Maybe I grew up in like a white area, so I guess growing up I was like quote unquote too black for the white people and too white for the black people kind of thing. But I don't know, I just didn't really like care that much. So that to me wasn't really a struggle. It was like I just brushed it off. And like now, like when all of my friends are black and everyone around is black, it doesn't really come up, because I think we've come to a place now where we don't really expect like a certain stereotype.
Do you think that's what the dark skinned people are talking about then? The fact that whatever struggles that you're going through, they're not, you can brush them off, like from your own words. It's not that deep, like, because you can brush them off. So
to me,
don't really get a chance to do that because,
Yeah, exactly. Like to me, it's like personally, I don't think like I just don't really care what white people think about me in general. So it's really not that deep.
You can have that privilege because of your light skin, the way you can navigate through life.
Yeah, and then with like I acknowledge that dark-skinned black people probably don't have the same thing. So for me, it's like I can't deny the systemic impact of their oppression. It has a bigger impact. So me having my feelings hurt compared to, you know, maybe them not even being able to get jobs or like, you know, skin bleaching, et cetera, et cetera. To me, it's like, okay, my feelings being hurt. Like for me personally, it's not that deep. Like I side more with Jessie, where it's like, sometimes we need to shut our mouths. Like it's not that deep. To me personally, and I appreciate that other people might experience it in a different way though.
I definitely don't want to put words into your mouth, yeah, but could one then say it's almost like you as a light-skinned person may even say to other light-skinned people, like, man up, basically. You know what I'm saying? And isn't that also taking us down a road where it's not necessarily healthy then? You know what I'm saying?
I guess it wouldn't be like man up. It would be like, let's maybe educate ourselves and maybe let's like really look into what the difficulty here is that our like sisters and brothers are experiencing. Yeah. And if you can start to understand that and maybe like apply it to real life, maybe you might start to think that actually this isn't as big of an issue while still dealing with the difficulties that you have. I think you can do both things, but I think you might not need to attack black dark-skinned people in the same way if that's something you were already doing, if you quite understood the actual huge impact that it has. Yeah. I think you can probably deal with the things that you have but not shout and start fighting. But it's like landing. Do you get it?
So
Yeah.
would you say that whatever issues or struggles you go through regarding your skin tone is like, would you say that it's less about the prejudice that you receive from out your community, from other cultures, people that are not black, and more about your own community questioning your blackness? Like, would you feel that that's
But
more?
would that be?
Would you feel that for you
like a struggle for me?
personal experience, is your own people questioning your blackness more of a struggle than how you have to navigate through life as a black-skinned black man?
Yeah. That to me hurts a little bit more than how a white person perceives me. So I have had like more, let's say, heated debates when it comes to that. Like, it does hurt because if you think about it, sometimes, like, this is my history anyway, and maybe a lot of people's history as well. The reason I'm light skinned is because white people didn't know how to keep their hands to themselves and have consensual sex. Like, back in my ancestry, do you know what I mean? So there's like I don't like that part of my story, and that's like part of the reason that I'm light skinned. Yes, that does hurt when I then have to like explain that to people or have a conversation about it. And that's something that I guess we can talk about within our community. And I think, to me, I'd rather have those conversations about like, okay, why are we saying that struggle equals black, for example, opposed to, oh, light skin and dark skin. I'd rather that conversation. Like, I think that's something that I would rather us tackle, but we're hearing it. Like, this is where we're at, unfortunately.
All right, then.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amani. Appreciate your call as always.
Cheers, thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Maggie pretty much suggested the topic of the day, pretty much in line with what you guys just discussed right there, about basically having your blackness challenged. And I'm assuming why it would be that sometimes light-skinned people, or majority of the time, light-skinned people get their blackness challenged more so than a dark-skinned person. But I guess we can make that part 2 tomorrow. So.
And we can include also, I guess, tribal differences, not just as you would know it, Emmanuel, because I see the FBA and the Born in Africa conversation a bit like tribes. They're now forming their own tribes in America. Because one person could be darker than the other, but they'll still be like, yep, but you didn't put in on this. You know, you just came over, or your parent came over and they had you. So we are patently different. Yeah. And we need to be seen as different and treated differently. This white man is so wicked.
Yeah, so it's mad. So basically, the fact that I don't really, I do have to worry about how I navigate life as a black man, but also I know that because I'm light skinned, the way I present is different, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't even, like I said, I do have to. It's more like the way I dress and stuff like that. If people see me in tracksuits and rest of the tail, then they'll put me in a certain demographic. You know what I'm trying to say? I know, like, if I dressed a different way and wore certain clothes with my lighter skin, people might be more accepting of me in more spaces. So I don't really think about how I have to navigate life as a black man like that. I would probably more, like I'm saying, my thing will probably be more what would affect me more. What I would actually care about more would be my blackness being questioned in my own community. But I'm saying, is that basically that's privilege they're talking anyway, innit? That's that's actually effective. That's proof of it. That's me actually using it. The fact that I can do that at a whim, because if you're walking around dark skin, you can't do it, because everywhere you go, people make it painfully aware that you've got dark skin and that the prejudice is there and that the line is drawn and less accepting in certain spaces or feeling comfortable in certain spaces or whatever. So that's literally the privilege playing itself out.
But is it though? Because in what spaces though? Because I guess from a light skin perspective, I'm assuming again, to have I guess your blackness challenged all the time about whether you even belong here is something I guess that we don't have to go through. You know what I'm saying? And that in and of itself is a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's a privilege speaking. That's a legit, like, you know what I'm saying? Why are you keeping me in the line longer? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the same as you. And I think it definitely is obviously the white man. I mean, that goes without saying. Because the thing is, back home in Africa, every shade is there. So why is there a problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, I know there's a caller, right?
There was, but it's not connecting.
Okay.
There was a new caller as well. Can you call normally, not via WhatsApp, please? And let's see if that works. Thank you very much.
So there's a new caller, yeah?
Yeah, I'd hate for my card to be revoked or not even given to me. Like the blacks say, you know,
constantly on
Yeah, 'cause
probation.
we
have to renew it every 3 months.
And everything that is cool is coming from us, right? We set the trends for everything, and just imagine you're now 50 years from now, it's going to become even worse. So admittance to this particular group would be even more valuable than being accepted by the whites. But obviously it's not now. Because we're still tap dancing for the whites.
It's sick. Like, my skin tone has been a constant thing for my life, being referred to as light skin and then yellow and then whatever the connotations come of it, and like even like it's just like a running, I don't know, joke or something.
Yeah, I do it too.
Yeah.
There's a person that I keep saying that you're not fully Trinidadian. And I don't even stop to think how that might be hurting them.
Like even if you say in the chat in the like my skin tone's constantly referenced. You know what I'm trying to say? To being like constantly, like all the time. And it's not necessarily done in a way of that's supposed to be championing it or uplifting. You know what I'm trying to say? It's always a dig. It's always a dig. It's always something underhanded. It's a little jab in it, like, oh yeah, little, like constantly. But it's like, what that don't mean? What does it mean? What, it's not. It's because I'm light skinned.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that. It's just you have to just hug it, kind of thing.
Good morning.
Morning, how's it going?
Bless. How are you?
Glad to hear you. Yeah, doing all right, thank you.
Cool. What's your name?
RJ.
Nice one. What are your thoughts?
I just wanted to build up on, I don't know if Black Rob covered it. I was listening and then man had a work meeting, so I had to duck out real quick. But I think a lot of the time is a lack of empathy that we don't show each other a lot of the time, which kind of gets in our way, because me growing up as a dark-skinned guy, I remember like hearing some like Blake jokes, turn off the lights, you won't see him, all of this stuff. And then it's crazy sometimes because I remember like certain people saying that, and then all of a sudden I see them rebrand on social media saying, yeah, colorism, black struggle, and I'm just like, hold up, weren't you the person causing pain for someone back in the day? But then I also have to show grace and empathy of the thing of, if that person's genuinely changed for the better, I can't hold them back.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like, I think what happens with a lot of us sometimes is that, yeah, we do have a hard time where we could be showing empathy and grace. We have a hard time like letting go of what happened in the past. And for me, I had to learn to let that go, because it's also a case of, listen, I fucked up in the past sometimes as well and said some egregious things. So I've got to realize, if you want that same grace, you have to show that same grace to someone else. And then that's the only way things are going to get better. Because if we keep on trying to chop each other down, it's like you're saying we're letting the white man win. And it's not even like the white man themselves don't have division between themselves, but they get along enough to oppress us. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like we have to learn to get along with each other enough to know when to be like, hey, listen, like Black Rob said, there's an order of, because sometimes I feel like oppression at Olympics kind of reduces the issue in case of, is a hard one, it's catch-22, because sometimes there's oppression in the Olympics, sometimes there's a case of, yeah, your issue is bad, but this is worse, so let's all have empathy for each other. Like he said, it's the way that you address it. You don't need to shoot someone down. The same way, I think he used the example of, like, there could be a war in your country and then there's a food supply issue somewhere else. It's like, the food supply issue is bad, but let's deal with the war first. And I feel like sometimes that's the grace that we don't give each other.
Yeah, I heard that. You know what it is? Yeah, they've done a number on us, innit? And obviously, the resentments that's there, that we have to let go in it, because obviously we lived for a time. Times was different in it. So, and everybody took part in the fuckery. So at the point when dark skinned people was the butt of the jokes, it doesn't make it right, but that was the thing, and a lot of people took part in it. The PR and the propaganda machine that got done for the way black people are perceived didn't just affect white people and people from out of our culture. It affected us as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's why there's some black people who don't feel safe in all black spaces, because they connect it to violence. They think something's going to go off and all that. It's because of the thing that's been put out there, innit? But when times change and people are open to more information, it's we're in a more woke era, innit? Everybody's more woke, and when you know better, you do better. So it's not just white people who know that the things that they was doing and the way that we was raised was doing wrong. There's black people who know now that we was contributing to the fuckery, the way we treat each other in our community, and we know that it was wrong. So now, if we understand that we was doing wrong, and when you know better, you're gonna do better. So now it's changed, isn't it? But you don't give people a chance or allow people a chance to grow, because then you're looking saying, no, I don't want to hear your change, because back in the day you was calling me Blick. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's like, what are we doing here? Like, we know what was wrong. Let's move forward together, because we're moving in the same light and we're all the same people, innit? So we need to be able to grow. Because if you just hold it against us and you resent me for it, then we're just going to be constantly at the divisions. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, I totally agree, because sometimes it's a case of, like, especially if someone's being genuine, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of grifters out here that are just saying it because it's cool, and it's just like, those are the only people where maybe it's me being paid, I'm like, nah, I ain't forgiving you because I can see what you're doing. But yeah, if there's someone that's genuinely, like, trying to move forward, let me not hold them back, because
how would you judge that? How would you judge that? Like, how do you decide whether someone's genuine or not?
I think it's consistency. If you see that somebody's changed in how they act as a person, if you know them well enough, that is, obviously everything is subjective. If you know someone well enough to see, like, over the years, like, do you know what, yeah, through their actions, they've actually changed, I can't even slight them, then fair enough. Because I remember being in school, there's something so stupid, but I remember something, it's little. I remember I was in a room, like, non-Africans around me, and then I remember someone was just like, brother, who will go Ghana for a holiday? Like, this is mid-2000s, by the way, so this is when it started. The African Caribbean war started waning down a bit, because we started going to school with each other more and understanding each other's cultures. But I remember someone be like, man, who will go Ghana, this, that, and the third, people laughing around. Ironically, it was the white teacher that was just like, bro, I can't even lie, the more educated person would pick. Because I think they were like, where would you go? The student must have said something like, where would you go? IB for Ghana. And then the white teacher, ironically, was just like, I can't lie, I'm going Ghana. And then everyone was just looking at him weird. 20 years on from them times, everyone's going Ghana. I'm seeing that same person in Ghana. I see that same person doing up tourist, I love it. This, that, and the third. But then it's almost like, as much as that moment annoyed me, if I've seen this person genuinely has taken in the culture and like, they've learned from their ignorant ways, I can't be like, imagine if I come on social media, this pussy old man, you tried to cross Ghana in 2005. I'm going to look like a loser, because it's just like, brother, if this person's, do you get what I'm saying? If this person genuinely, if I can see there's consistency in you going to, you know, rolling with more African people, being more accepting of the cultures and leaving your ignorance behind, what can I do? Because it reminds me of a time when Steph London, and I hate when people try to shoot this down, because I know she's not the most popular person. When she had the colorist tweets, yeah, and then what I wanted her, because I clocked what the situation was straight away. It's like, those are the times back then, because everyone wanted to act like everyone weren't saying mad colorist stuff back then. And she just got caught out. And I wanted her to come out and say from the get-go, listen, that was the time back then. Is it fuckery? Yes, it is. But guess what? We was all doing it back then. It hurt, because there was probably someone saying some fucked up stuff to her. And I think we just all got to accept it. Like Mavs was saying, brother, a lot of us was involved in the fuckery back in the day. And we got acting like we wasn't.
I'll be honest with you, RJ.
It's how you move forward.
If they had a camera on me and they documented because like I said, I've been light skinned my whole life. I've had to hear it. So, and we've been doing color wars from the beginning of time. You don't know I'm slick, and I know how to cuss. Them playgrounds. I have been creative with the dark skin jokes. I've said all kinds of fuckery to people, and obviously with the mindset of that, oh, I'm black anyway, so I can say it, it's not racist. I've been hella creative with the dark skin jokes. I could probably said everything under the sun in me trying to diss one of my brethren that's dark skin. You get what I'm trying to say? So we all take part in it. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, we all done it. I don't think it comes from a place of like malice or whatever. It's like we're at a different time in it. Like, and even now, you're not going around saying those things and voice those opinions. But if someone felt the need to cuss me out about being light skinned, I'll smoke them about being dark skinned. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's all the same shit. So it's like, yeah, everybody has to understand that we all took part in it. You get what I'm trying to say? And again, it goes both ways. The race war within our community is kind of like always been there. You know what I'm trying to say? So for real, like, obviously even stuff like what people be getting up people's tweets and stuff from 20 years ago, it is kind of stupid because you're actually trying to pretend like we didn't live through this shit, and it's not just on Twitter, it's in our real life. It was a part of our experience, it's a part of our growing up. And again, and it all boils down to the white man again pitting us against each other. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, this shit's been happening from the beginning of time, to where people have been like I said, it affects everybody. Like, where darker skin person is looking for a lighter skin partner because they don't want their kid to be as dark, and all these kind of things. These things have been happening. Like, it's not new. You know what I'm trying to say? So when we bring it to the forefront and we have the conversation, we just have to have an open conversation and have space in your heart, like you're saying, empathy for real, to understand that yes, people did used to say stupid things, but like, when you know better, you do better. We've grown in it. We need to be able to grow and be able to have these kind of conversations, understand where people are coming from, or we're never going to be able to move forward. It's the truth of it.
Yeah. I think also, if the tender says should we give grace to white people because it was the time, that's different because they're the ones that caused it. We were the one that, you get what I'm saying? We were the one that result of it. To be the result of it and to be the causation are two different things. But like I said, it's also a case of if there's someone that's genuinely, looks to amend what they've done in the past. But this is another thing we also got to accept as well. Sometimes you're going to ask for forgiveness and I'm going to feel indifferent towards you. And that's okay as well. Sometimes it's like, for the betterment of my peace, I'm not going to have love for you, but I don't hate you at the same time. And that's okay as well. Sometimes there's no forgiveness in this. Sometimes it's, let's be indifferent and move on. And that's okay as well.
Thank you, RJ, man.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that, man.
And just before you move on, Emmanuel, I mean, other communities can look to get onto their own communities or their own, when I say own people that kind of look like them, right? Because obviously we're not monolith. But the thing that hinders us is our inability to build economically, but it doesn't hinder them. Do you understand? So that's why we are hit the most out of this particular practice, this particular chosen activity. And until it is that we realize that, everything is doomed, man. The cycle will just continue. It will just keep going on.
100% agreed.
But as we'll find out today,
that's going to change, bro. It's going to change.
I don't think it's ever going to change.
No, it has to change.
It has to. You can't just be resigned to it not changing. Because then what's the point? Just
for sure.
I was just about to say,
because it's going to be in our hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
Damage has been done, man. It's embedded, man. It's deep
It's
rooted.
conditioning. It's just conditioning. Just conditioning. Yeah, so let's do positive conditioning.
Some people ain't prepared to recondition themselves.
That's cool. And those people may still be that same way until it is they breathe their last. But there are ones that are coming up that are impressionable. Yeah. It's on us to now say, all right, let's start somewhere.
It's true, man. Frederick Douglass says what? It's easier to raise, good children and fix broken adults. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyway. All right. That was a good topic of the day. Thank you, TDA fan.
All right, then. Let's get into these next headlines.
All right, people. So our next headline. Oh, man. There might be a coup, man. potentially in the Tory party. So Rishi Sunak apparently is facing a plot by desperate right-wing Tory MPs planning to ditch the Prime Minister and replace him with Penny Mordaunt to avoid an electoral wipeout. After the Prime Minister was dealt a blow by the defection of the former Minister Dr. Dan Poulter, Tory rebels hatched a 100 Days to Save Britain plan, whereby Miss Mordaunt, who's best known for wielding a ceremonial sword at the King's coronation, would become the PM. The extraordinary idea is reportedly in response to fears that the party could suffer massive losses at this week's local elections, with the MPs planning a series of quick wins to ready his successor for a general election this autumn. The rebels are said to believe that if Commons leader Miss Mordaunt took power and launched a series of right-wing initiatives on tax and immigration and other issues, it could avert a Labour landslide in the election later this year. The rebels are said to have drawn up a 5-point plan for a potential successor to Mr. Sunak, which would see them chalk up a series of quick wins before the election. I think they have what do you call it?
I call this because I was just saying there's no way they're gonna have him go and run against that bollocks head.
Stammer.
Yeah,
I remember you saying this.
Yeah. So it's funny how now they're looking to basically say, all right, it's time. But 100%, man, they can't run with Sunak.
All right. Well,
Thursday is election day, local election day.
Yes.
I hope it is everybody carries their ID card, because you won't be able to vote if it is that you don't have it.
Yes. Second headline takes us to Russia, man. Apparently, Russian officials have threatened the West. They did so yesterday on Sunday with a severe response in the event that frozen Russian assets are confiscated, promising endless legal challenges and tit-for-tat measures. The Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said that Russia would never cede territories ceded from Ukraine in exchange for the return of frozen assets. She also stated that any Russian assets must remain untouched, because otherwise there will be a severe response to Western thievery. Many in the West have already understood this. Alas, not everyone. In response to Russia's war in Ukraine, the United States and its allies prohibited transactions with Russia's central bank and finance ministry and blocked about $300 billion of sovereign Russian assets in the West, most of which are in European, not American financial institutions. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said in a separate comment that there was still a lot of Western money in Russia which could be targeted by Moscow's countermeasures. And our last headline, Brent, can we have some horns, please? South Africa. The mighty nation of South Africa marked 30 years since the end of apartheid. And the birth of its democracy, with a ceremony in the capital that included a 21-gun salute and the waving of the country's multicolored flag. Any sense of celebration on the momentous anniversary was, however, set against the growing discontent with the current government. The ANC has been in power ever since the first democratic all-race election of the 27th of April 1994, which was the vote that officially ended apartheid. But this Freedom Day holiday fell against a backdrop. Analysts and polls predict that the waning popularity of the party, which was once led by Nelson Mandela, is likely to see it lose its parliamentary majority for the first time, as a new generation of South Africans make their voices heard next month in what may be the most important election since 1994. The president, who stood in front of a banner emblazoned with the word freedom, also recognized the main problems South Africa still has 3 decades later, with vast poverty and inequality. South Africa is still the most unequal country in the world in terms of wealth distribution. This is according to the World Bank, with race obviously being a key factor. But yeah, big up Nelson Mandela. Of course, you got big up Winnie Mandela. You know what I'm saying? Every time. Big up Steve Biko. Big up, all the rest of the South African freedom fighters, man. But that's it for our headlines, man. It's time to pay them bills.
All right, then let's get into what, People's Journal?
Yeah.
No one's listening.
Huh? Whatever, that's what I need you to be anyway. You need to channel your inner Winnie.
All right. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I wanted to mention, I know obviously, Brent, you spoke about this last week, with some of the questions that people had about, benefiting from TNB's investment opportunity. I just wanted to reiterate to people about, I guess, in my opinion, the biggest benefit, right? Besides obviously the obvious ones, in that your shares obviously gain value in years to come and whatnot. But guys, you have to remember the SEIS benefits, which is for the first £250,000 that's invested into this, right? You have 50% income tax relief. You know what I'm saying? Like, that money's going to come off your income tax liability. Understand what that means. If you're putting in 10K, right, 50% of that, 5K is going to come off your tax liability. You can claim from last year, meaning you're really only investing if it was 10K, 5K, but you have 10K worth of shares. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone will go crazy if we saw right now Gymshark was 50% off. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is effectively the same thing. Please think in that sort of manner. So yeah, obviously this week I'm going to kind of...
Yeah, I think those who understand that whole stuff understood it right when we said it. 100%. They understood that. But yeah, it's good to basically break it down in a manner that is digestible for all.
Yeah.
So they understand how fantastic that is. Yeah.
Exactly. And there's a lot of other benefits as well in terms of the capital gains relief, in terms of inheritance tax relief. Like, again, you're going to get full relief from your with your investment in terms of inheritance tax. We've spoken on the show already about the countless ways in which both governments, both parties, I should say, are going to take your money in terms of inheritance tax. This would be one of those situations where your money will be yours. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those ways to really and practically build generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? So understand that, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully by the end of this week, we would have drilled home that particular fact to you guys. Next thing I wanted to mention is, well, what I mentioned last week, to be fair, which is about the train strikes, right? So guys, remember from next week, I believe it is, from the 6th of May, there's going to be train strikes. So please plan out your journey so it doesn't affect you on a day-to-day. Tuesday, the 7th of May, C2C, Greater Anglia, Great Northern, Thameslink, Southeastern, Southern, Gatwick Express. It's going to be a bunch of lines that are striking, pardon me. On Wednesday, the 8th as well, Avanti West Coast, Chiltern Railways, Cross Country, they're going to be striking. Thursday, the 9th as well, LNER, Northern Trains, they're going to be striking as well. So again, just plan out the entirety of next week with regards to your travel arrangements. Next thing I wanted to mention as well, yeah, again, and this is not an I told you so. I'm not trying to do all of that, right? But on the show, obviously, we have spoken about COVID vaccine and things of that nature. Well, long story short, this is now, I mean, personally, I'm pretty sure, Brent, you would agree with me, and pretty much everyone in this room, but this is not anymore a matter of opinion here. AstraZeneca themselves have now admitted, right, for the first time in court documents that their COVID vaccine can cause rare side effects. They've now admitted. This is not speculation. This is not people's conspiracy theories, guys. This is what the situation is. So apparently there's going to be like a multi-million-pound legal payout now for those people who have been affected by it. The first case was lodged by somebody called Jamie Scott last year. He was a father of two who left with permanent brain damage, permanent brain injury after developing a blood clot and a bleed on the brain that has prevented him from working after he received, that vaccine in April 2021. You know what I'm saying? The hospital called his wife 3 times to tell her that her husband was going to die. This is from taking the vaccine, not from COVID.
I'm going to tell Loons to sue. He must have a case there because...
Has he been affected?
Huh?
Looney Tune.
He's definitely been affected, man. Deteriorating at a rapid rate.
They may ask, though, to prove that he wasn't Looney prior to COVID.
Even the fact that his name is Loons, I'm going to give it away.
Oh, man. But yeah, AstraZeneca, they were contesting the claims, but long story short, like I said, they have accepted in this legal document that was submitted to the High Court in February that its COVID vaccine, can, in very rare cases, cause TTS, which is thrombosis with thrombocytopenia syndrome, which causes people to have blood clots and a low blood platelet count. So yeah, man, 51 cases have been lodged in the High Court. So all these victims and grieving relatives are seeking damages, which is estimated to be worth up to £100 million. Next thing I wanted to mention is Blackstone. But you know about Blackstone, that big company that I believe BlackRock came from back in the day. They're an American private equity behemoth.
Blackstone, BlackRock.
What's the guy that is, I guess, the head of BlackRock? Is it Fink? I don't know why his name just went out of my head. Anyway, him, because he was with Blackstone initially, but then obviously left and
Larry
rezoned.
Fink.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but anyway, it's not about that. It's about basically Blackstone. They're looking to finalize a revised offer to buy the company that owns the music catalog of Shakira and the Red Hot Chili Peppers and that. So yeah, man. I believe they had 3 offers before that were rejected, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're making a 4th now, and they're looking to buy it, man. So that's a big move in the industry. Next thing I wanted to mention is about Monzo. So Monzo obviously is pretty much one of the most popular banks now, isn't it? Especially amongst younger people and whatnot. It's a fintech, which has been, like I said, one of Britain's biggest consumer banking groups. And this weekend, they're putting the finishing touches to an expanded fundraising round, pretty much, that involves one of the biggest known technology investors. Long story short, that entire fundraising is worth close to £500 million. And yeah, so this is, I believe, 2 companies, Hedo Sophia and Singapore's Government Investment Corporation, the GIC, who are pretty much investing in Monzo, man. So yeah, they're really trying to expand. You know what I'm saying? So it's likely to mean that they won't necessarily require any further capital if it decides, as expected, to soon, maybe not soon, but at some point to go public in the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just an update on Monzo. And still speaking about banks, last thing I wanted to mention briefly is that NatWest have become the latest UK bank to report a sharp drop in their earnings for the first 3 months of the year. And you may say, how big is that drop? Well, pre-tax profits in the first quarter of 2024 were £1.3 billion. That's profits. But compared to last year, again, relative, right, is a fall of nearly 28% on the same period. So that's a hell of a drop. Analysts were expecting it to be 1.2 billion. So it is better than what was projected for them. But that is the situation, man. They have reported some sharp drops. That is pretty much it for the People's Journal, man.
All right, then. Now...
Headlines.
Oh, okay. Let's get
I
into
was
these,
about to say the main event. No?
let's get into these headlines then.
All right, guys. Trigger warning on this one, man. Trigger warning. Leeds United fans were condemned for heckling a half-time speech on knife crime by the father of a murdered teenager who was a footballer by the name of Keon Prince. Witnesses said that Dr. Mark Prince, OBE, who's 55 years old, was visibly shocked after being interrupted as he pleaded for an end to youth killings across the UK at Queen's Park Rangers Loftus Road Stadium on Friday night. He responded, "Are you booing? Wow, you've got family, you've got kids, haven't you?" Which led to most of the stadium turning on them. Even fellow Whites fans started applauding Mr. Prince, who started his justice campaign after Keon, who was 16, was stabbed trying to break up a fight outside his North London school in May of 2006. He later called out ignorant supporters who had truly let their club down by poor behaviour. Leeds United followers apologised online for the reception Mr. Prince received from a section of the away crowd. Next headline, police in Benin fired tear gas to break up a protest over the cost of living, which was called by trade unions, and they arrested several senior union figures on Saturday. Armed police blocked access to the Labour Council in the commercial capital Cotonou, surrounding the area where the demonstration was meant to take place, and turning away journalists. But some protesters nonetheless gathered nearby. Police used tear gas to disperse them. One of the demonstrators was there, stated, "We are all hungry. I received my salary on the 22nd. At this moment, I don't even have 500 CFA francs, which is the equivalent of 82 cents. And I have to get through the month, which has barely started." Crazy. The guaranteed minimum salary in Benin is 52,000 CFA francs, which is $85 per month, up from 40,000 CFA francs, $65 in January of last year. But the price of fuel and food products, including corn, gari, beans, and cowpeas, have risen in recent months. The International Monetary Fund said that this month that incomes in sub-Saharan Africa are falling behind the rest of the world amid a tepid economic recovery. And our last headline takes us to the east of Africa, in Kenya, where, trigger warning, guys, unfortunately, sadly, 76 people in Kenya have died because of flooding triggered by torrential downpours since March. That's what the government said, warning residents to brace for even heavier rainfall. Kenya and its East African neighbours have been battered by stronger than usual rains in recent weeks, compounded by the El Nino weather system. Flash floods have submerged roads and neighbourhoods, leading to the displacement of more than 130,000 people across 24,000 households, many of them in the capital, Nairobi. Mwara said that all 5 dams comprising the Seven Forks hydropower project along the Tana River, which is Kenya's longest, were at total capacity. The monsoons, of course, havoc across neighbourhoods, neighbouring Tanzania as well, with at least 155 people killed in flooding and landslides. It's sad, man. But that's it for our headlines, guys. Time to pay them bills.
All right, then. Now, we've got an announcement to make.
It's time for the main event, baby.
Time for the main event, baby.
Let's go.
No, it's not the main event. It's like a preview. We drip feeding this?
I was gonna ask Gina what she thinks is gonna be happening now.
Yeah, no, it was just a little drip feed. I was just teasing a little.
I was gonna ask you what you think is gonna happen now.
We're gonna play not the main video.
All right, baby.
But the video before the main video.
No.
The
But
video
you're
before
close.
the video.
The video before the main video before the main video. What would that be called?
The prequel.
Okay. Because I was gonna be like, what's the? You know, you got the finale, and then what's the one before? What's before finale?
I don't know, man.
There's a you know, like episodes of a season. It's like.
Oh,
Well, you lot are doing me dirty here.
The
man.
penultimate.
The
Yeah,
penultimate.
but it's not
Okay.
that. It's the one before the penultimate, right?
Yeah. The
That's-
one that shouldn't really have a solid title.
Okay, basically. We're giving you that.
All right, cool. I've actually made a slide. So each time it is that we drop an exclusive, we're obviously giving it to you guys first, so that you go and you like, share, subscribe, and enjoy. Say a couple of words before this begins.
Not really, man, except what better time than now, man? What better time than now?
All right.
We've been waiting for too long, man. Black people, we need to do for self, man. It just, yeah, man. Time is now, bro, man.
All right, cool. Let us share this with the people.
People.
Power concedes nothing without demand. Never has, never will. What better time than now for us to open up our eyes and recognize the extent of what's going on right now and do what's necessary to change our reality. Half of us are tired of the incompetence and the false promises of this current government. And the other half are tired of the dishonest, stale, lacking creativity opposition that will undoubtedly take off this coming election time. What better time than now? See, I would hate to think that we all have in the forefront of our minds we were made aware of a little less than a month or so ago, when we heard how the largest Tory donor pretty much said he has to wrestle back his hatred of all black women. Why? Because of the existence of Mr. Adam, the very first black female MP that this country has ever had, and subsequently said, and I quote, she should be shot. What better time than now to address this? Bear in mind, shortly after that, she was silenced in the House of Commons. 46 times Ms. Abbott stood up to speak on the racist views that were directed at her. And all 46 times, she was denied the opportunity to speak. If ever you needed an example of the idea that in this country, black women specifically should be seen but not heard, there you go. What better time than now to speak loudly about the need for reform across the board, from education to the justice system? Where's the outrage? Where's the loud calls for change? We deserve better. You deserve better. We need to stop living our lives like second-class citizens without a voice. You know, British, kind of British with an asterisk. At some point, we need to recognize that our silence is someone giving these people permission. It's an injustice. And the only protection against injustice is power. What better time than now to speak about the role of the media, the most effective tool of all propagandists. Let's speak about how our experiences, those experiences that are unique to us, have been weaponized to propagate and justify our disproportionate treatment for generations. A great man said that the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And if you aren't careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. You see how easy that was to call for a ceasefire? What better time than now to create a real alternative, an alternative that prioritizes you, that sees you. Because why don't we have our own media platform dedicated to highlighting countless black individuals engaged in essential grassroots initiatives, made up of people who won't sell you down the river because they aren't interested in what they can get from the big house. We are integral contributors across various sectors, from retail to healthcare, sport, entertainment, and corporate Britain. Despite our significant presence and contributions to this economy, there's a noticeable absence of a centralized media network that showcases our efforts alongside others. We deserve recognition for our invaluable role in this society. What better time than now to make a covenant with ourselves, to do for self, to create something tailor-made that serves our needs and wants, to create a blueprint that we could use to shape the future that we want, become owners and producers rather than just consumers, build industries and control and benefit from the same sectors that we already influence. See, one better representation is all good, it's a noble idea, it's necessary. What's better than better representation is ownership. That's where true empowerment lies. What better time than now? The time is now.
Is that you swimming?
All right, so there was an echo. All of that.
How was it?
What was that?
Yeah. So obviously, our apologies. Obviously, there are gremlins in the system. But if you would like to watch that without the echo, please go to our.
You make a noise.
Oh, but when it was the echo, it was all right. No, go on, sorry.
Your bag's bare heavy.
Just a sandwich and a steak bacon, some fruit and some water.
See what we have to put up in the manual.
Sorry, go on, as you were.
Can you imagine?
As you were.
If you would like to watch that without the echo, please go to our Instagram. Please go to our Twitter. What happened? Go to Instagram. Go to. Hello? Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, first time caller. Love the show. Been here for a while. I just called because I felt I'm an East African and I am Ugandan. And they keep this referral that, East Africans may be light or East Africans. I think that's very wrong because I think you're referring to a very small demographic in East Africa. We've got indigenous black people. If you go to South Sudan, you've got probably the most black of black people who are amazing and beautiful. So I think that, anyway, I wanted to clarify that there's Ugandan, Kenyans, Tanzanians, we're not light-skinned people. We're as black as they come. You know, we're probably as black as West Africans. So I think that bringing that division is a problem. But I also wanted to highlight the fact that in East Africa or in Uganda, we've got mixed race people in the country, we've got light-skinned people in the country. And it's only when you get to the Western world then that the division or highlighting light-skinnedness becomes a thing. In the continent, it's not a thing. Yes, we might think, okay, some people might say, you're light-skinned, you're pretty, or you got privilege. But trust me, inland, we don't divide ourselves like that. So it's quite funny to see it playing out when you actually come to a country where, there's more white people than in our continent. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you much for your call, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, that was lovely. So, if you would like to watch that uninterrupted and without the echo, please can you go to our Instagram, go to our Twitter. You can even go to our, when I say our, I'm talking about the new black. THENEWBLXCK. Like it, leave a comment, and share it on your stories. Let's get this moving. Next announcement would be when, Emmanuel?
Should we give it to them on Thursday, Ben?
I think we should.
Thursday, yeah, man.
All right.
But all this week is going to be something. So, guys, make sure you're tuned in and, commenting and sharing all the videos and things of that nature.
Cool. All right, thank you very much. Let's move on to
the reaction.
Get that done, please. Thank you very much.
Oh, cool. Welcome to the reaction, people. Where I read out sports headlines.
Whilst you eat.
I'm not even going to look at the sports headlines because
Doesn't need to.
you know what you don't want to talk about. And because I was actually busy yesterday, when you're in the events business.
I'm sorry. Well, hello for people who don't for events.
No, but trust me, it's tough, man. So I was actually busy and distracted from the whole time. But I saw the result. Obviously, I was wrong. I thought Spurs was going to take points from Arsenal. I thought the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was going to be difficult for you lot. And like I said, I didn't see it because I was busy. But from what I heard, it was a bit cagey in the beginning. Like it could have went any other way. It could have went either way. Like obviously, Arsenal scored first. I'm hearing Spurs had goals disallowed, chances not taken, hitting the post and stuff like that. But Arsenal's finishing was clinical, and they just dispatched them. Was that 3-0 first half, Brent?
Yeah.
And they just done their thing. So big up Arsenal. Big up Arsenal. I know North London's red right now. The Spurs fans are hating it. But like from a fan's point of view, how did you find the performance, Brent?
Obviously, North London derbies are always like a nervy day because it's our biggest rival and it can go anywhere, and it's at the Bowl, right? And there's so much at stake. So, yeah, I was confident. After all of that, I was confident.
Beforehand?
Yeah.
I know. How did you feel with it playing out? Like, you watching it? Was that just what you expected? Was it level better than you expected? Did it just go to that? Like, this is what you said. Yeah, you're just gonna deal with them, or were you proud of the players for getting the job done? I don't know.
So first of all, I didn't know that we were going to kind of let them have the ball and then counterattack.
Okay.
I thought that we would have treated it like a North London derby. Just have at it. But when I saw that, I'm like, all right, fair enough, gaffer. And then when I saw the 3 goals before half-time, I'm like, fair enough, gaffer.
Did you feel like you
Spurs played well though?
Not got away with one. But like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I heard they was I know that they was creating chances. And there was like when it was did they correct them 0-0 even? I know when it was 1-0, they was looking to equalise straight away. They was putting pressure up. Then the goal got disallowed.
I think they had one shot on target within the first 30 or 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So our defense was defending. Do you understand? It was as
Romero hit the post. The post. I mean, because the stats can think the post didn't count as a shot on target, but that's a good opportunity, isn't it?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm asking. I didn't see it in it, but because obviously you sound like you tried to play it down, like to say they didn't really do nothing, or there wasn't no jeopardy there. There wasn't a chance of.
No. I'm saying that our tactic worked with aplomb. But they played well. They kept possession. They had the majority of the possession. But our defending was defending.
Okay. And then the second half
I was just disgusted.
with Arsenal.
Yeah.
What happened?
Because we bloody gave them the goals, innit?
What was it, earned or was it individual mistakes?
No, it was, the first one was not earned. The second one was not earned. So no, the goals weren't earned. Sorry, the first one, Rhea passed it to Romero.
Okay.
Without any pressure. There's no pressure. Just gave it to him. And then he scored.
They didn't come from pressing.
And then the momentum, no, it didn't come from pressing.
I'm asking, I didn't see it. That's what I want to know.
Didn't come from pressing at all.
Okay.
It was a howler. And then the momentum, obviously, the crowd was like, we see the end. We see the rainbow. And they pushed and they pushed and they pushed. And Rice gave away a penalty. And the thing is, when you see it, you know full well, don't go with your foot there. Don't move like that there because you can't see where your foot is going. Go with your head. I saw that penalty all day.
Is it deserved penalty?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, still more penalty. But the referee didn't give it in real time. I don't know if it was there was the I don't know, the event.
And then how long was it 3-2 for?
For 20 minutes.
Oh. Okay, cool. So what was that last 20 minutes like?
For 30 minutes. 28, 29. It was hell. It was hell because it's the draw now they're playing for. It's the not losing they're now playing for. It's what this all means to Arsenal fans they're now playing for. You understand? And you could see it. And each time I was like, this boy, Rhea, it's your fault. I wasn't even saying Rice too much. I was saying Rhea.
Did you think they was not going to get the job done at any point? Did you waver?
No, 100%. I mean, there was doubt. I don't know if that's wild for me to say there was doubt. And obviously the crowd was on their side. And you see Arteta go in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the referee really whistled up 6 minutes past the hour. 6 minutes past the game finishing. And that's how much time was left. I didn't think he would do that. I think he would he would stretch it a bit more. So it's like he wanted the game to finish. Hold up, I have to put you on speaker. The Bluetooth is cack. Good morning.
Morning. It's a Spurs fan calling.
From South, yeah?
Yeah. It's me again.
How are you?
I'm all right, man. But obviously, I'm disappointed in the North London derby.
Talk to us.
Deeply disappointed. Basically, it's to be honest, it has to do with Ange. Obviously, it's his first season, but I just feel like we're just so easy to play against. So the first 10 games of the season, it was new, and teams they were surprised by it. Then suddenly, all of a sudden, teams realize disperse the ball. They can't really hurt you. You don't have the players to hurt you. Maddison's off form, so Arteta done the right thing. And apparently, I believe this as well, that Ange doesn't work on tactics. That's what Eric Dyer said in his Gary Neville interview, that Ange doesn't do tactics. He just concentrates on what he can do to the opposition. And yeah, man, personally, I'm deeply upset. But well done, Arsenal, though.
Sorry,
so we just need United to do the job, man.
What does that mean that he doesn't concentrate on tactics? He just concentrates on what he can do to the opposition. Ain't that tactics? Ain't that like can you explain what you mean more
for
to me, please?
I would like my coach to say, okay, cool. In terms of the defensive line, we always play the same way. So he just concentrates on attack. So if you see the way we play, we go to the byline and we try to sweat it. We try to always put it in the box. That's all we look for, literally all the time. And as you can see as well, we constantly concede from corners. Like, he hasn't worked on this corner thing. Like, we've conceded, I think, 14 goals from corners. That's ridiculous. So, and he's clearly not doing something. And if a player saying, he doesn't work on tactics, I'm going to take his word for it.
No, I hear where you're coming from, but in my mind, when you're saying that he just concentrates on the opposition, that's tactical. That's
so you wouldn't say this. To me, it doesn't seem like he doesn't realize that. Okay, cool. We're playing Arsenal. Yeah. If we keep doing the high line, whatever, they're just gonna pop the ball over the top. That's what Kai Havertz done for Saka. Literally, easy work. Like I already know what Arteta said to. I feel like I know what Arteta said to Arsenal. He said, "Look, they're gonna have the ball. They're gonna give us chances. Just don't worry. They're gonna give you ample amount of chances for you to score. Then after that, just sit back. Like we're gonna open our arse for them, literally, and we done that, and it's pissing me off." Yeah.
Wow.
But it is what it is, isn't it? You go again next season. But my only saving grace is that it's Ange's first season. You know, Arteta, when he came, yeah, he won the FA Cup. But I think this what is this, his fifth season now? Fifth or sixth season. So it's taken him time to get to this position. And let's see if he can cross the line, innit? But
do you like Ange? You happy with him, yeah?
Pardon?
I said, you happy with Ange? You like Ange? You happy to keep going, get some new players in the window?
Yeah, I'm happy to keep going. It's his first year, innit? Fifth. I don't think we're going to get the top four. But fifth, yeah, I feel like we're a Europa League team. More additions in the summer. Yeah, we go again. Hopefully we finish. I'd like us to have a title race, but I doubt it. But I feel like, yeah, top four. Then the third season is where I expect to see us challenging for the league. So, yeah, but that's me. Let me leave you lot to do your thing.
All right, thanks for the call,
Thank you
man.
very much.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Femister, I've got you queued up.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you hear me?
This is lovely. Thank you very much. Talk to us.
How does it sound? Sound all right?
Yeah, it sounds sweet. Man.
Yeah. You know what? I was gonna come on an immature thing and boast and all that, but that Tottenham fans' humbleness made me think, should I just be a little bit humble on them? I don't know.
I think so.
What do you think?
I think so. Then again, no, I don't think you should.
The fact that you're still not sure lets me know where you're going. That's let me think.
No. You know what? Some people need to stop saying this. Did you see that stat yesterday about Arteta, actually? So you know when people say it took Arteta 5 years, when they were saying the fastest managers to 100 wins in the Premier League, the company he's keeping is ridiculous. So Pep was 134 games, Mourinho 142, Klopp 159, Sir Alex is 162, and then comes Arteta on 169, even before Arsene Wenger got to 100 wins. So that guy's keeping some brilliant company, man. So you have to be careful when people say keep giving your manager a chance. Arteta's doing a seriously good job, Like people just I think because Man City in this league, people don't understand the kind of job that where he's taken Arsenal from to where we are now, where we rock up to their stadium, and I'll be honest with you, like you said, the last 6 minutes was nervy, I would say. But if you look at it, watching it calmly now, they actually didn't have another shot on goal after they scored. Yeah, David Raya. You didn't explain that mistake properly to someone that wasn't watching, like Margs. Romero broke from centre back. He was running towards Arsenal's goal. Arsenal were playing it backwards. It got to Raya, and Romero kept running, basically. And Raya, at this point, had a choice. He could either just launch it long or play the pass sideways, and he did neither. He tried to chip it over Romero's head, and he just passed it straight to him. And he put the ball in the back of the net. That was it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. But apart from that, to be honest, Raya had a really good game. Like, he caught the amount of catches. He didn't have a save to make, I don't think, Brent. But he caught, see the way he catches the ball? It's different. It just relieves all the pressure from everyone.
Are you definitely having him over Ramsdale?
So over Ramsdale, yes, but I'm still not 100% convinced, which sounds crazy because he's about to win the Golden Glove, Marks, and he's played 6 less games than every other keeper that's in the conversation because he missed the first 4 games and he had to miss the 2 games against Brentford. and he's still got the most clean sheets in the league. So you can't. I mean, it's not. I mean, the defense is good, but obviously he does his thing as well. So, but saying that, man, like Arsenal didn't actually play well yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you. They just walked in, went 3-0 up, and I think the only time they actually played well was when Ryan made that mistake. That's when we had control of the game. The first half, we were just dilly-dallying on the ball. Erdegaard was off the pace yesterday. Trossard was just playing 1-2s in his own box. I don't know what was going on there. But we were 3-0 up through just set pieces. Tottenham cannot defend set pieces to save their life, man. It's like every time we got a corner, it looked like we were going to score. It was absolutely crazy.
No. Well, congratulations on your lot's win, man. Do you think you're going to take the league? Do you think you can get it done?
No, we can't, because Man City are just relentless, man. Like, what do you like? They've got 4 games. They're unbeaten in 31 games. That's what people don't realize, which is their longest run under Pep, unbeaten. So it's not, when people are saying, "Oh, it's not a good Man City team" and all that rubbish. This is their longest unbeaten run. Rodri hasn't lost for 70 games that he's played. Like, how do you stop them? There's no one that can beat them. And then now we're gonna end up having to rely on Tottenham, and I guarantee you, when it comes to that game, because it's the second to last game, Tottenham fans are going to be cheering every time Man City score. That's the kind of losers that we're dealing with, man. It's sad.
I thought United was going to have a say in it.
And Mars, what do you think?
Sorry, I thought United was going to have a say in it, but I'm of the mindset now that you are going to go Old Trafford and dust us down.
Yeah, but Mars, Man United will probably have nothing to play for by the time we play them. What would you rather, like? Because this is what I don't understand about this Tottenham thing, where Tottenham fans want Man City to come to their ground and beat them by many goals. How would you, because Man United will have nothing to play for by then. What would you feel if Arsenal rocked up at your ground? Would you be happy if Man United just gave them the game, like Tottenham fans are saying their team should?
No, we can't roll. We're never going to roll over for nobody. Like, it's not a case of it's not a case of stopping you. It's not even like, obviously with Spurs, they might have, even with that game there, a lot of their what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of their inspiration and the passion would have come from stopping you from winning the league. You know what I'm trying to say? I think our mindset just has to be about self-respect and obviously knowing the rivalry and all that stuff and being at home and just wanting to stand up and just like put in a good performance, especially with the season we had. It's not really about taking points off Arsenal and stopping you from doing whatever you're doing, because essentially they can't do that anyway. Like you're saying, City's going to do what they're doing. United ain't playing for nothing. But we just need to just get some self-respect and just finish the season as strong as possible, especially after all these bad performances. Like, even like on the weekend just gone, we're playing Burnley at home at Old Trafford. And if you watch that game, that was 2 teams that was on equal footing as far as I'm concerned. Like, that was a tough game for them. Like, they didn't look any much better than Burnley. Like, Burnley was in the game. Burnley looked like they can challenge them. Burnley was playing football with them. Like, and just to put out that level performance and to drop so low is crazy. They have to be able to raise their game against Arsenal. Like, I don't even know, even just for their own peace of mind. Like, what are we doing here? Like, for the fans, for everything. Like, they have to be able to put a performance in. So I'd be pissed if they just went there and just sacked it off and just said, "Oh yeah, we ain't got nothing to play for, whatnot." Like, I want them to do something. But even with that being said, obviously you can raise your occasion for big teams and stuff like that. You can raise your levels for the occasion, is what I'm saying. But I don't know if they've got it in there, man. I think you don't go there and just do us, man. The way we're playing at the minute, especially like what I'm saying with recent performances, like we wasn't ready for Burnley at the end of the day. Like, so how are we gonna be ready for you lot? Tough.
Yeah, I hear that. And it's your last, but it is your last home game of the season. You don't want to be doing that lap of honour after you've been spanked 3-0 at home, do you? That would be crazy. But yeah, let me get off stage and let you lot do your thing, man.
Right. Thank you for the call.
Thanks for the call, man.
All right.
I really appreciate the clarity of this Discord.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's cold.
To the other.
Even though I don't want to do it, yeah, I've been seeing the rounds go around because we should have got a penalty. We should have got a penalty because Aaron Wan-Bissaka, they give a penalty against Wan-Bissaka for the exact same thing. And it's just always like one set of rules for other people and another set of rules for us. That whole United thing, like it weighs heavy on us. Like we have to carry it with us.
Is it?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Like even like the way we're reported in the media, just everything. Like it's one set of rules for one people, another set of rules for us. It's bullshit, man.
Is it reverse something?
Reverse racism, I think.
Definitely not that.
Oh, okay.
Good morning. Who's speaking?
Mr. 200 kg.
All right, good.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you very much.
Good. What's it called? Hey, blaze the horns for us, man. North London is red, man.
All the time.
Yeah. Listen. I'm not gonna lie though, fam. Hey, because that penalty, we conceded the penalty in the 86th minute. Yeah. Let me tell you. See me, I'm a man in my mid-20s. Yeah, I've got life insurance. My family would have had to cash in that life insurance if we drew that game. You know. That one there. I haven't been on the ropes like that in a long time. That one there might have aged me like 5 years.
It was a long.
It was a long 10 minutes. Hey, I'm saying, yeah, you see the stats, yeah? These stats are actually crazy. Like Arsenal this season, yeah, we've been the best in the league. We've got the most goals. We've got the least amount of goals. We've got the highest goal difference. We've got the most clean sheets, and we're undefeated against the Big Six. We've got 5 wins against the Big Six, 4 draws. If we do not win this Premier League this season, me and God need to have a conversation because this is madness. This is madness. Like, how come... And do you know what it is as well, yeah? I feel like... Obviously, I understand being an Arsenal fan, we've been through a lot, yeah? But at the same time, I'm like, these lot are being very pessimistic, you know, because City have got a couple away games that are kind of sticky. Like, as much as Fulham are like a mid-table team and stuff, yeah, Fulham are a decent little outfit, you know. On the right day, they are a tough game. Man City have got them away.
You have lost 5 games, man. You reckon you go to the like that's? I understand the stats. So you're saying these are great, but you can pick which ones. Like the columns are important at the end of the day. Like obviously City's fucked up because they drew a lot of games that you wouldn't expect. But like, you have lost 5 games. City's only lost 3. Liverpool only lost 4. You get me?
Speaking of Liverpool, I'm not gonna lie. Liverpool are the biggest. I don't know how they scammed their way into this title challenge. You know, fam.
They shit the bed, man. I think they earned their way back into it, and then they just crumbled, man. And look at this thing. To be fair to them, no one saw this coming. I don't think no one saw them doing that in this fashion because no one even saw them kind of being involved in the title race like that. If that makes sense, like you're saying, like the way they just snuck their way into it. You get me? But then once they got there, we was of the mind. We gave them the benefit of the doubt, innit? We was of the mindset like rah, it's Liverpool. The way that they fucked it in this fashion. Surprising to me, to be totally honest with you, man. It's surprising. They've proper stunk the place up. They have shit the bed massively.
But this is what I'm saying, like the stats, yeah. Because as much as what's it called, that Savage Dan comment was good still about the bikini comment. It's good because you can only see but so much, yeah. But they tell you a lot of stats in it, bro. Liverpool, yeah, in the 34 games that they've played, yeah, they conceded first 22 times. They collected 27 points from loser positions. That is unsustainable. You can't win a league like that.
Yeah.
The basis of winning a league is a good defense at the end of the day.
No, I'm with you on that one.
Man's got to hope and pray that City drop points somewhere. And we're basically banking on Arsenal being perfect from now to the end of the season. And as much as Man United are maybe, I'm a bit scared that they might try to turn up against us.
Well, I hope they do, man. They need to have some, like I said, they need to show some self-respect, man. Real talk.
But it's mad, though, because, like, these men went gunshot for gunshot with Sheffield United in the middle of the week, gunshot for gunshot with Burnley on Saturday. Like, and then if they come and try to turn and do a number on us, I will lose my mind.
Because of our history and because of the club, I can see why you would think that, because it's not out of the realms of possibility. You get what I'm trying to say? That the potential is there for them to do that. We've got game winners, we've got big players. The potential is for them to go get their mind right and turn up at Old Trafford and have a good game against Arsenal. Don't get me wrong. But it's also like when people show you who they are, you need to believe them. And I don't think right now in this moment, I don't think they got it, man. Use that would be Yeah, you'd be pissed. You might have to cash in on that life insurance again if you let us do that to you, lot. Because we're not good at the moment. We're just not in the right frame of mind. Like, I don't know what it is like, but they just ain't like what you're saying. The guy going toe to toe with Burnley and toe to toe with Sheffield. Like, if you're watching these games, like these men are playing us like we're in a game. Like, it's a struggle. It's hanging in the balance. It can go either way. If you was looking from a distance, you couldn't tell who's who or who's the better team. You know what I'm trying to say? So to make such a big jump in level, what they actually need to make to even make the game competitive against you lot, it's not easy, man. Like, they could do it. Don't get me wrong, but it won't be easy. It won't be an easy task at all. And I don't think they're gonna do it, man. Like you're saying, they ain't got nothing to play for. The season's done. They're probably just gonna want to go on holiday, just get it over and done with. Actually, do they get to go on holiday? Is it Euros this year? It's Euros, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they still might get a little break or something, or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, man, I think you'll be alright, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Anyway, man, my parting words: no funding is red. That's it, man. Love, man.
Thank you.
Alright.
I keep putting this clip up as a post and choosing collaborators and whatnot. But after it's finished, it keeps on taking it down.
Why?
No.
I thought you was doing it, you know.
No, I'm not doing it. I don't know why it's doing it. It's the third time I've done it, you know. And I've asked Hackney's Finest if it's something where you could only post. Sorry. You could only post the same thing like on one account, and you can't look to duplicate it.
Why not?
Wait, I don't. Okay, what's happening?
I put the post up.
Yeah, I know you've deleted it, right? Why?
I haven't deleted it.
It's deleted it.
Deleted it 3
Why?
times. I don't know.
Do you know what that probably means? Probably means there's words in the video. Do you get what I mean? Instagram will delete. It's the context of what you're talking about.
Maybe it's the hashtags.
So maybe I don't know if you're talking
put
about
Dan Abbott in there.
If you're talking about the election, do you know what I mean?
There's probably.
It is. It's most
probably,
likely.
Even maybe either words you've used or some of them
yeah,
clips. Something. There's something that they're saying now.
Yeah, that's what it is. So
the fight against us is real.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
That
Instagram only deletes videos.
Maybe ceasefire.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
All right, let me.
You said it 3 times like Candyman.
Let me try again. Let's see if it allows it this time.
Take the ceasefire bit out. See
Yeah, so that's what it would be. But you know what though? Yeah, if you probably don't have time for it though. But usually when they delete your video, you should get an email to say that they've removed your thing and say why. Like to check.
Okay.
But I most likely think
they would. Check your email. They would notify you and let you know why they removed the post.
But it's definitely the context of the video. If you've done it more than once and both times it's been removed, it's the context.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
What else in football news?
Liverpool.
Liverpool shit the bed. We talk about them. They drew against West Ham.
You see the fight?
You see Mo Salah and that. Yeah, getting heated. Let's talk about if I speak, there's big trouble. Big up Harry Kane. Harry Kane's scored or assisted against every single team he's bucked in the Bundesliga. You get me? I think he got 42 goal season, and I don't even know however many assists. And it all came in vain because Leverkusen won the league, so that's sad for him. But you know, I suppose on a personal level, you can take that. Take that. In basketball news, the Clippers even up the series. I think it's 2-2. Pissed for that. I thought it was gonna win. Apparently, we was down. The Mavs were down by 31 points in the first half. You get me? So I don't know what adjustments Ty Lue made there. I don't know if the man just weren't shooting or what, or if the defense was over. Because I missed that game as well. But Kyrie Irving scored 40 points. Actually, he tried to lead them back to the victory. I think at one point they even went in front from by 31 points down. I think they might have went in front by a point or two or something like that in the dying seconds of the game, dying minutes of the game, fourth quarter. But they couldn't get it done. They lost. The Clippers were cooking. Paul George and James Harden both scored 33 points each. I need to go back and watch that because it seemed like it was a good game. It seemed like it was crazy. It was exciting. Didn't get the result I want. I still think the Mavs are going to get through that. They'll win at least one on Clippers, and they're stronger at home. They should get it done. We'll see. What other results was there? The Suns got swept. Suns are out of there. Pow. They're gone. See Bill talking about, I ain't never been swept in my life and I don't intend to start now. Well, you started now, son. They're out of there. That ain't going to work. I don't know if they're going to trade Kevin Durant or what they're going to do. They can't move on from Bill. He's got that massive contract. It's probably like the worst contract in the league. And they're probably not going to move on from Booker because he's young. He can build around Booker. I don't know whether they're going to trade Durant. I don't know. But Suns are cooked. If they go again the same next year, I reckon it's going to be more the same. That team, that big three ain't really cooking like that. What happened over the weekend? LeBron bugging out. He made sure he didn't get swept. So he won a game. So I think that series is 3-1. Lakers ain't going to get through that. But at least they didn't get swept. You get what I'm trying to say? It might be a gentleman's sweep. But at least they got some kind of dignity. So big up Bron. I can't remember the other results for the other games. Sorry, it's unprofessional. Is Cavs Orlando leveled up 2-2 maybe? Oh no, sorry, I ain't got the games in front of me. But yeah, it was a decent night of basketball. If you've got to watch that, I heard that Clippers Mavs game was epic. I'll go back and rewatch it. And that is the end of our sports headlines. Let's get into that. Is there a video to play for that number 3?
Oh yeah, there is.
Are you taking a piss?
No, it's a. Yeah, you just have to see it for yourself, man.
Oh yeah, Knicks versus 76ers. That's what I missed out on. Sorry, I didn't know the result of that either. But again, yesterday I was busy, man. I'm a busy man. My bad. Tomorrow will be better. I'm sure this game's on tonight. But yeah, let's see this video. What's his name?
MB. What's that?
Chris Phillip.
Let's
see what he said.
There's a genocide going on and there's such a big conflict going on with people from Rwanda. So had my family members come from Goma on a crossing right now, would they then be sent back to the country that they're supposedly warring, Rwanda? Does that make any sense to you?
No, I think there's an exclusion on people from Rwanda being sent to Rwanda.
They're not from Rwanda, they're from Congo.
They're from Congo.
And they're
from Congo.
They're supposedly warring these people from Rwanda. Are they then going to be sent to Rwanda if they came here on a crossing?
From
Congo? Yeah.
Would people be sent from... Well, I mean, Rwanda is a different country of Congo, isn't it? It's a different country.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. Definitely. He's saying if they come from a war zone in Congo, would they then be sent to Rwanda? That's the point he's making.
So there is a clause in the legislation that says if somebody would suffer, I think the phrase is serious and irreversible harm by being sent somewhere, they wouldn't be sent. So there is that safety mechanism built into the legislation.
Leave it! Yeah! Right now in Goma, there's...
for real, he might never go back on that show ever again. There was genuine confusion on his face. He's saying, once again, because Congo, right? How are we going to send them back to their own place? Man asked a question. Man said, there's definitely different places in it. He is sick. What's the criteria for being like an MP and going on question time, wherever it may be? Like, what's the criteria? Like, how do you, like, what do you need to make sure that you definitely know to get on there?
No idea.
Is he? What is he just an MP?
Yeah, I think.
Is he dealing with the issues, or is he just speaking on the issues?
He's just speaking about the new Rwanda.
But does he have any hand in that? Any say in what's going on? Like, I just want to know if the people that are dealing with this issue, do they know the difference between Congo and Rwanda? Like, just to be safe, because that is mad.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
And the white man looked offended as well. Obviously, he was woke. He definitely knew the difference between Congo and Rwanda, innit? He was thinking, wait, did you just say that? You're just bringing us back. Is that like when, do you reckon he felt like, is it like second-hand embarrassment for him, like, if that makes sense? When he's saying like, oh, you're just making it bad for all white people.
Probably.
Now they're all gonna think we're like you, man. Like, you're an idiot. That was ridiculous.
He's a minister for crime, policing, and fire. Currently.
Crime, policing, and fire.
Yeah, Minister of State. Yeah.
Do you need to know about geography for that?
Yeah, but it's a new policy that that the entirety of your party is rolling out. He has to know. Yeah, 100%.
That's definitely that's safe to say that's his last TV appearance for a while, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, they're gonna lose the election anyway, so he'll be out with the rest of them.
Here's hoping. Chris Phillip, that's his name?
Philp.
Chris Philp.
Yeah.
You are well and truly done it here, man. Go get a map. Get me? Go get a map. Even one of the ones that your ancestors carved up, the original ones, should tell you on there.
For real.
You're actually silly.
No, it should tell him, innit? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, you're done at here, man. Sorry, man. Let's get into the
Why did we
outro.
ask him?
Huh?
Why did we ask him? Did he say Reggie?
Crazy,
Because he definitely didn't know, innit? He weren't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't want to make a statement and be wrong. You get what I'm trying to say? So he had to ask. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, nah, he's well and truly done it here, man. That was a joke. It was a howler for real. But yeah, man. Let's get into the outro. Black lad travel, not knowing the difference between Congo and Rwanda ain't that deep. Care to unpack that? Could you speak for him? Try
speak for Black Lad Travel.
Try speak for
The
him.
travelled one.
No, but try speak for him. Try support that statement, like, because I just want to get into the mindset. So, not knowing the difference between Congo and Rwanda ain't that deep. Go, Brent.
They once used to be the same people.
You buying it, man?
Trying, man. Trying. It's a hell of a price to pay. No, this is it is that deep. Especially if you're sending people to one of them. You know what I'm saying? If it was
You don't even know where you're sending people.
If this was like Western Samoa or something, then I understand. It's just general knowledge. But you're sending people to there.
I think it's working now.
Is it up now?
I just removed ceasefire.
I told you.
And stopped the killing.
I told you. Because mine's up. But what did I say? I said it's the
hashtags.
It's the hash. Did I even tell you that I have to change the name of Walking to Jericho? Like, I can't call it that anymore.
What?
Why?
Because obviously Jericho is
Place in thingy.
yeah.
Wow.
It's linked to Palestine. Yeah. Literally. So yeah.
All right.
So they're literally like shadow banning anything in relation to the what that's going on. So yeah, I'm not surprised, basically.
So where are you walking to? Jerusalem?
No, we're just walking. I'm gonna call it something else. But yeah, we can't walk to Jericho anymore, unfortunately. Even though that was a time. Really was a time. We had a great time.
God damn. All right, well, you've reached the end of the show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking part. Everybody that liked the video, make sure you share it. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching, please subscribe. We've just dropped a video on the socials on the New Black, so please go like and comment and share it, put it on your story and these things.
Oh, I know they're not the same people. Max asked me to think like Black Lad Travel. I thought I was supposed to choose.
Yeah, you was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she wasn't necessarily talking to you. She was just, it was
But she said Brent.
Yeah, but it's the spirit that you're embodying, isn't it?
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
She knows you know that.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
All right, remember, tune in every day. Well, you tune in every day anyway, but keep your eyes peeled because we're making announcements. We've got cool stuff dropping. So we'll be here same time, same place in the morning, man.
In the morning.
In the morning. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.